chainsaw, I'll bring the beer to Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever created. And today, we're going to find out who is the first and second best cop in LA, because we're talking about Tango and Cash. Let's get it, boys.
Questions that desperately need answers.
Yes.
Who's number one?
The only question they don't answer
They
in the
never
movie,
did. Right.
Even though they bring it up so many. Oh, it's funny. I heard you're the second best cop in LA. Oh, I heard the same thing about you, but they never really answer the question.
There's no polls, no nothing. They go to the newspapers all the time. You'd figure there'd be something in the newspaper.
Breaking news, turns out Cash is the number one cop. I mean, some closure.
You want to know what it is, guys?
What
the
is
closure is that they're both the best cops in LA and they're friends.
And the real lesson is the friends we made along the way.
Exactly.
Right?
The real lesson that everyone learned is teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
Awesome. Great. Well, look, welcome in. We've got the Human Movie Database, Ryan Farrell, in the house. How are you, Ryan?
Oh, lovely. How about you?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm excited for this.
This is amazing.
DH9K is excited, too.
I'm sure. You know she is.
I see a little hydraulic fluid leaking out around her here.
Yeah, she's a little under the weather. We'll talk about that later on.
Oh, is she? Wow.
Might have to look at her exhaust fan.
I swear I did not put my fingers in her.
That voice you hear is the manimal, Bob Hauser, also joining us. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
I've thought about you and me doing Tango and Cash since we started.
Yes, this is a dream come true.
I know.
We get to talk about it.
About this.
This is awesome.
Yes, the movie that you two have probably been talking about for 30 years.
Absolutely. Yes. Very accurate.
Yeah, we quote this movie back and forth all the time. And also, go ahead.
No, it's funny because I literally watched this movie while playing a video game, and I had to remember the best I can all the quotes, so I can James can quote that.
There's a lot of them.
That's right. And we got the mayor in session as well. Welcome in.
I am. I'm in session.
Mayor Mueller? That's a different thing. Mayor
different. Yeah,
Mueller.
Male mutant.
Yeah,
Sounds like
I am a male, too. The male Mayor Mueller. Yeah.
Mail order Mueller.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I got a quick story.
Please.
You know how we talk about Jason Statham being just unsettling, seeing him with hair, right?
Yeah.
So I moved my kid down to southwestern suburbs of Chicago a few weeks ago, out past O'Hare, down by Lombard. All along the way, they've got Urlacher on those billboards with hair, like Urlacher Hair Club. You talk about unsettling with hair.
Yes.
Like Urlacher was born bald. I think he was bald his whole life, and now all of a sudden he's got hair on these billboards. I'm freaked out every time I drive that way.
Dude, it's unnatural.
And if you drive back, you see a lot of breast augmentation.
Exactly. Turn back the other way. Yeah.
Just let's not combine those two things together. I don't want to see Urlacher with hair and a rack. Okay.
Or a hairy rack.
Or either.
Might be a good-looking rack.
Let's get into the vitals here, guys. This movie was directed by like 4 different people. Sly directed it for a hot minute in between two people. Originally, it was Andrew, and I'm going to do my best with this one. Andrew Kachalaskali Ferguson.
Not going to work here anymore.
not gonna work here. This is the guy that directed Runaway Train. That's the movie I always remember this guy from. John Voight movie from back in the 80s.
Yes,
awesome.
Runaway Train. An actual good movie.
He got about 3 months into principal photography, got fired. Sly took over for a while until they hired Albert Magnoli, who the dude had basically just done a bunch of Prince videos, and he brought them across the finish line to finish this movie, which was apparently just full of problems. And, one of those situations where you had a director in Andrew who wanted to make a serious film. You had the actors who thought they were doing something else. You hired this music video guy to come and try and do it at the end.
Well, and the producers who always intended it to be the buddy comedy type movie.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it kind of finished out like a Prince video, not going to lie.
The movie was written by Randy Feldman. And Randy Feldman wrote a couple of movies you might be familiar with. Nowhere to Run, a Van Damme movie.
It's a great Van Damme movie.
Great. One of the more serious ones.
Yeah.
Right? If I remember, so long ago since I've seen Nowhere to Run. It's where he ends up shacked up with a family in the desert somewhere.
There was Anna Arquette and one of the Culkin brothers.
That's right.
Bad guys played by Ted Levine.
See, you remember way more than
Absolutely. The movie's
he does.
awesome.
He's all about it.
Yeah. The other movie he wrote was Metro.
With Eddie Murphy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a good movie.
Eddie also trying to be serious action.
Yeah, because Metro was a very weird balance of because it's a really violent movie, and it tries to be really serious, but Eddie Murphy's still kind of doing his Eddie Murphy thing.
Right.
I liked it. I really liked Metro.
Wasn't well received, though.
No, it'll probably make an appearance on this show at some point.
You bet it will.
Oh, yeah.
This movie starred Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell, Terry Hatcher, Jack Palance. The budget for this flick was $54 million and brought in a box office of a respectable $120 million. That's a respectable for 1989.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, it did well for its
pretty
time.
well.
For well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a 6.4 on IMDb, which ties it with Remo Williams and another movie we just did last week, Need for Speed. So this is 2 weeks in a row. We've got a 6.4 movie on the docket here. The movie currently sits at a 31% critic score.
Ouch.
But guess what, guys? It's also got a rotten audience score.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
52%.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing there.
So I'd call that a split audience rather than, I mean, it's 52%.
It's 50-50
Yeah.
on
But
the
by their
audience.
metric, it's considered rotten. But it's really a split audience.
Yep.
With a minority of critics thinking it was worth anybody's
Exactly.
time. So, but we hope that you think we are worth your time, and so just want to say thank you guys to just hanging with me. It's been 3 incredible years. I consider all of you friends. I hope it feels like you're hanging out with friends when you're here, because this is what we're going for. And you know, the season out there is about to get real crazy with elections coming up and everything. And so something we never, if you've been listening long enough, we never bring up politics, and so we are going to stay politics free even through November and the upcoming election and all of that. And so if you want a respite from all that nonsense, you can count on Bad Movies Rule. And so tell a friend, if you ever hear a friend complain like, man, everything's just so political, shoot them. Hey, try listening to Bad Movies Rule.
Yeah, don't shoot them.
No, I mean, shoot them a message.
Shoot him a message.
Just zing one right past their ear.
Send it by carrier
him a
pigeon.
line.
Don't shoot it.
And
Send it by carrier pigeon.
I send you a small incident.
That's right. That's right. Do that. Okay. Now, see, I just said we're going to stay politics free, and now we're making jokes. All right. I just want to reiterate, because I don't know, a lot of new listeners might not realize that's one of the tent poles of Bad Movies Rule.
And that's what everybody loves,
And
right?
so-
Because it is a respite from just the nonsense day to day.
And if you want to support that kind of show, you can be a patron. We would love to have you as a partner. Patreon.com/Bad Movies Rule. It's all in the show notes. Check in the show description. You get the link there. All kinds of bonus content on there for you as well.
Cancel your Disney Plus subscription. Give it to us.
Yeah, give us that money. Come on,
there you
now.
go.
We're not going to make The Acolyte, okay?
Ooh.
I'm not getting into that can of worms. All right,
I will. Show
Time.
sucks.
it's time to pay the bills.
Bob, give us that opening line.
What's the pay the bill? What?
No, the opening line of the movie.
Tango and Cash, give us that opening line before the credits even roll.
Okay, let's do it.
It's such a weird way to start the movie. It's just a blackout.
Warner Brothers logo, just do a black screen of Sly.
I do love the music.
Oh, yes. Yes. Harold freaking Faltermeyer. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the first thing my wife called out. She's like, the music's terrible.
No.
I'm like, no, it's not. This
No.
is perfect.
No, it's
Harold
awesome.
Music's awesome.
Faltermeyer is one of the most underrated composers of all time.
He gave us Axel F,
I
right?
know. Axel F. Beverly Hills Cop, Top Gun. He did Cuffs.
Hey,
Come on.
That's don't
Yes.
bury that one. Yeah,
No.
no, that's awesome.
Cuffs. Shout out to Cuffs and Harold Faltermeyer for that score.
Love it. The movie opens with a tanker truck screaming down the highway,
As much as a tanker truck
With
can
Robert
anyway.
Sartan driving.
driven by old Shovel Jaw himself.
The mighty chin.
That guy should be on Mortal Kombat as a shovel attached to his jaw.
He could have been.
Just a point.
His finishing move is just rip the chest open with his jaw.
Oh, finish him.
Rip, hook underneath the other guy's jaw, and just pull his head up.
His jaw expands outward into another. Yes.
I know we just had him on Samurai Cop, but I've missed talking about this guy, and it hasn't even been that long.
I think
So
they gave his jaw its own zip code at this point.
Robert Zadar hauling out with random bad guy number 2 riding shotgun.
Yeah, random bad guy number 2 with his lines dubbed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they're being pursued by a cop in a really really nice convertible.
It was a Chrysler Sebring.
Yeah, it was a LeBaron. My kid said, "What is that, a LeBaron?" I said, "Yeah, it looks like a LeBaron." Then they flipped around to the front. It looked like they just plastered a Cadillac badge on the front of this thing over the Chrysler badge.
Wait, isn't he supposed to be the rich cop out of the two of them?
He is the rich cop.
stockbroker
He's
cop.
the stockbroker
Driving
cop.
a LeBaron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you save money.
I mean, that's like the almost unbelievable thing that happens in this movie is that the LeBaron overtakes the semi-truck here on the road. And not just overtakes it, he's like, everybody, they're like, Tango, back off. You're out of your jurisdiction. CHP is on the way.
I've been on this case for 3 months. All right, I'm going around.
That's right.
Yep.
And he guns it. And he doesn't just get in front of him. He gets like 4 miles.
He's fast and furious.
He is literally gone beyond the horizon line of this truck.
Because he pulls off the road, stands in the middle of the road, and the truck still hasn't crested the horizon.
Yeah, exactly.
He changes out his bullets.
Yeah, what was that?
I think
38 or
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
is
he
a
changed the
38.
bullets out, but then he's shooting this short barrel pistol at an oncoming semi
yeah,
with accuracy.
playing chicken with him basically.
Right? I'm like, how are you that accurate? Because that semi is obviously 6 miles down the road.
Clearly.
Right? I mean,
As it
The window starts to
crest the horizon line.
and
he's
then
like,
the
oh,
bullets don't even bust the window.
No, it's what spiders like it's supposed to, but when they crash through it, it's back to being plain pane glass.
And then they all of a sudden the two bad guys just fall through the window.
This is the best thing. So Sly is standing dead middle of the road with his snub nose, firing at the window, and they take a couple shots into the windshield, and Shoveljaw is like, "This guy's crazy." Okay. And finally, the last second decides, for whatever reason, he doesn't want to run Tango over. And so he slams on the brakes so hard he flies out his own windshield.
Not in a semi. I'll tell you what would have happened with where they stopped those brakes. Sly would have been a pancake on the front of that tanker because that's 80,000 pounds that they're stopping on a dime.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
No, yeah, a truck that size going that 200 yards to stop.
Yeah.
Easy.
It
Easy.
doesn't not.
So
Even if they could stop, let's just play devil's advocate because you're right. That in of itself is ridiculous. But even if they could stop, he's still in drive when he goes through the windshield,
yeah.
unless he goes, "Crap, I'm not stopping up,"
Well,
and threw it in park.
Well, no, it's a manual. So as soon as he let off the clutch, it's going to kill the engine.
Well, it stopped because it didn't.
It'll keep rolling because
That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, because it's in gear.
Okay.
If anyone's a
So it's not neutral. So he will, unless he threw it in neutral when he was hitting the clutch to stop.
It
It's
seems
not
to
going to
me-
roll forward.
It almost seems to me like he slammed it into park.
You know what? This is the
Basically.
perfect question
Yeah.
for the truck driver.
that's right.
the
We
we got
novice
our
truck
barrel
driver.
ninja guy out there, right? He's a truck
yeah.
driver.
I need
Barrel ninja.
Jeff Ninja to let me know here.
Get
Did
out
the
the
guy
barrel,
just
tell
throw
us.
it in park? And if you throw it in park at full speed, do you fly through the windshield?
That guy got ejectocito.
Maybe that's what he did. He hit the ejection button on the seat and it's just dumped him out the window.
Who's letting Tyrese Gibson in these trucks and stupid up all the seats?
He passes him some handcuffs. He's like, "You want to do the honors, right? You like jewelry?"
You like jewelry?
Throws it to him. All of a sudden, all the cops are there. His own captain, for some reason, is there.
Yeah,
on
he was from
site.
Sudden Impact.
Yes.
Stepdad from not Sudden Impact, Double Impact.
Double impact. Love that guy. He's like, "You shot out the window here.
That's true.
2 guys in the street.
Yes.
I know this. What are we doing? This truck. It's not a truck. It's a gas truck."
No, sir. It's a major moving violation.
yep.
And he asked that now the truck itself is crawling with CHP officers.
Yeah.
Like they're on top of it.
All
They're-
the brown shirts.
All the brown shirts are
Yep.
everywhere.
Yep.
Did you check the front panel? We checked the whole truck, asshole. There's nothing in it.
And you got
neighborhood, big city
trophy, yeah, you got
I
the
want
trophy
your gun.
gun.
I want your badge. I want your ass in my face. Who the F do you think you are? Do you have baby oil on you?
That's his intent. It was the most intense and
Yes,
out
it
of
was.
out of nowhere.
That guy went for it. He had one job, one day, 1 second. He's like,
Yes.
honey, he was tying his shoes that morning. He goes, honey, I'm going to get big time. I'm going to be the next Don Johnson.
Sly Stallone is going to be there.
trying to make in this acting
Yeah,
business.
making his act. After that performance, he ended up being Don Johnson's fluffer.
That's hilarious.
I loved one of my favorite line deliveries in the entire movie is from that guy. Incredible.
It is.
And then he's like, obviously he's saying there's gas, he's like, "You're out of your jurisdiction," and all this stuff. He just fires his gun into the truck and
cocaine.
Magically, these bullets now pierce stuff because it's probably a double-walled tanker hauling gasoline.
You're taking the fun out of it, Mueller. You've already set the movie on fire on the highway.
Right.
Yes.
And now you got a pile of cocaine on the highway.
Right.
You were jealous because it wasn't pouring into your yard.
That's right. That's all it is. I'm like, pull it up to my yard and shoot it. That's fine. That's
he wants to go
acceptable.
skiing in his front
Right.
yard.
Yeah, fantastic. Just skiing down the slopes, my front yard, hills of cocaine everywhere.
You're right.
Hills
It
of
won't,
cocaine.
it won't pierce a windshield, but it'll
No,
pierce the
yeah,
tanker.
double wall tanker, no problem.
Yeah. It was
look,
the
it's
density,
snowing.
the density of the cocaine.
Oh, here
it
we go.
changes the thermodynamics of the panel. All right.
Is he talking?
An undersold.
You just kill his mic. Which one is it? Is it the yellow one?
Hey, I'm
takes
defending
The yellow one, right?
I'm defending your
green
movie.
one.
The green one?
He thinks he's Rambo.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
you
that
can't
line.
talk.
I love that. I love the
that
little
line.
meta call
That was a
out.
great line.
Rambo is a pussy.
Rambo is a pussy. Yep.
That's great.
Not bad for a city guy. Yeah. It's just good stuff. And it's basically just a scene to introduce Ray Tango.
Yeah.
And how he operates, right? Because right after this we get the first scene.
Completely against the book.
Yeah.
Yep.
But before we go to get our introduction to Cash, why in the blue hell is Perrette just driving his limo right through the freaking crime
This is,
scene?
this is the funniest thing. As Jack Palance and then the Chinese guy,
James
and
Hong.
James Hong.
and James Hong,
Yeah.
and what's the other guy
Lopez.
like
Lopez is
So
his
he's
name.
the Mexican cartel guy, right?
Yeah.
And yes, all three of them just happen to be going by this scene that is crawling with cops.
right.
But hey, it's
Were they following the truck to its destination or what?
classic exposition. That's all it is.
If it's not
Tango, Tango and Cash, Cash and Tango.
These two cops are driving me crazy.
These two cops cost me money.
because they're literally Stallone is standing right outside his window as he drives.
Right.
past.
Exactly.
It's
Right.
hilarious.
Right.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go meet Gabe Cash. He walks into his also very posh apartment, very fancy.
Yeah,
And
so your
well,
typical.
His car,
right.
his car is fancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and all the kids when he pulled
Yes.
up is like, oh yeah, the kids. He's like the neighborhood hero.
But he seems more like a blue collar guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Than
But he
than
pulls
Tango
in.
is.
And all I said was like, you mean on an LAPD detective salary he's driving that car?
Yeah.
No.
What are you saying? He's on a take? What do you think he's dirty?
I'm saying that he's not affording that on an LAPD detective salary.
Well, just say what
What's
you
the
mean.
what's the LAPD detective salary of 1989, right?
I don't know what the detective salary in
So he couldn't
1989
save his
is.
money
It's
to
the
buy
number-
himself a
it's the
nice
number- yeah.
50 whatever 60 Corvette.
It's the
Was it a
number one cop
Porsche?
in LA.
Pretty sure it was a Porsche.
He's the number one cop in
Whatever.
LA.
He's the number one cop in like East LA.
So you're telling me that Mike Lowry couldn't afford his Porsche in Miami?
Mike Lowry was a trust fund baby, and that's well established in the Bad Boys canon.
Cause he's Mike Lowry.
He's Mike Lowry.
All right, back to Tango
Back to
Cash.
Tango Cash. All right, so he goes into his apartment. Guy comes through the mirror in his. Explain this to me. He's got a mirror in his living room.
It's a mirror gun.
that is against something with no backing. So he's just like a hanging mirror.
Yeah, it's like a two-way mirror. They were giving him away.
Generally
when they
mirrors
redid
against
the
walls.
Yeah, but they redid the glass in the interrogation rooms, and he just took it as a mirror for his house. So
guy's
guys
like-
could see through and know that he was there.
Because that's my next question
Yeah.
is, I will wait until he gazes at his own reflection, and only then will I come through the mirror and try to kill
that's
him.
exactly what happened.
Maybe there was just a hole in the wall, and being a guy was just like, I'm not going to patch that. I'm just going to hang something over it.
Or there was just a hole in the wall,
Yeah.
and the bad guy brought the mirror to hide in the hole and put the mirror in front of it. And that's why Gabe looked at the mirror. He's like, oh, cool. Somebody put a mirror in.
Someone put a mirror in my apartment. Now I can see myself. Wow.
The guy crashes through and starts shooting him. Why not just shoot him through the mirror? I don't know. You want to announce your presence first, I guess?
I mean, whatever
Like
works.
the Kool-Aid man of Asian bad guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
He gets shot, takes it in the vest, though. Dude jumps out the window. Cash jumps out the window and starts chasing him down the street.
Boot gun. Don't forget the
that's
boot
right.
gun.
I forgot about the boot gun.
Cash falls out of the window and boot guns him back Like, where did this boot gun come from?
They don't answer that for an hour.
They don't.
Yeah.
Do we ever even see the boot gun?
No, but they at least give reference to it, but not till almost the end of the movie.
You see it one more time at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's used. I'm saying like there's never like a
Right.
You know, it's one of them in jokes where it's
They
just
throw that
always,
in there
He
and
always
then-
just has a boot gun.
Right.
Love it.
They're chasing
Love
him.
it.
It's chasing him down the street, but he can't keep up because he's got a 12-pound scope on his pistol.
Yes.
Dude, that scope was
He borrowed John Carpenter's. He borrowed his pistol from Snake Plissken.
He bought his Snake Plissken gun.
That scope is bigger than the gun.
It was.
You see how huge the
Yeah,
scope
if you see Escape from New York, that's the first gun he has. It's this giant gun, and the scope is literally the whole length of the barrel. And
It's a laser.
Okay, but you have to relearn how to aim because every time you're shooting, you're 20 extra pounds of weight.
Yeah, they were used to that in the 80s. It's the same gun that Schwarzenegger has in Terminator.
I hate it. I hate it. The big, and there was in Armed and Dangerous too.
Yes.
John Candy had the big giant laser scope, and every time I see him, I'm like, oh, stop, put it away. I was so happy that for most of the movie he didn't. It was just in the beginning.
Yeah.
He did not have the giant 12-pound laser scope on the top of his pistol. Also, like Ray can aim his gun without a laser. What the hell, Cash?
well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
We're trying to answer who's the
Wait,
best
so is
cop
this
in L.A.
a point for Tango then.
That's a point for Tango. Short barrel pistol, dead on.
This guy needs a 12-pound laser to be able to hit anything.
all right. So,
And guns in his boots.
and guns in his boots.
Okay.
And he lives in a crappy apartment.
Apparently can't afford a car. And on the LA PD fund.
No, because he's on the take. He's
Nah,
accusing
not
him of
according
being
to Ryan.
dirty. Ridiculous.
According to Ryan, he can't afford that.
He gets into the parking garage. Okay. And,
Everybody got that?
okay. He can't, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
He gets in the parking garage. They end up in a car chase in a parking garage.
Yeah.
Chinese guy steals Marty McFly's truck.
Yeah.
Dude, that is.
Yes.
That is.
And then to get Cash steals like some Russian guys.
It is
Yeah,
a Russian guy, yeah.
His Buick.
That's
or
my
whatever it was.
car.
Yep. Yep. A Russian immigrant.
You get him hauling ass around this freaking parking garage. You get some random 80s boobies when the guy crashes into the side of one of those cars. Absolutely no reason for this to be in the movie.
No.
Why are they there?
What's
No
going
reason.
on?
That's literally what it is. Two people doing it in the back of the station wagon. They just, huh?
In a
What's
parking
that?
garage.
In a
the
parking
She
middle
had
of
to
garage.
peek up. She's like, I know that wasn't you rocking my world right there.
They're just thinking the same thing.
Oh, man.
What was that? Finally, he's able. The way he stops him is he knows the guy's like one level behind or below him, so he rams into another car, which shoots it off the edge of that level
Yes.
into in front of him, and then
Yes.
comes
pretty
and
smart.
knocks him out through the
good
window.
stuff.
Welcome to America.
You got a headache? He says, yeah, the Russian guy.
What's the matter, Ace? You got a little headache?
That's right.
Welcome to America.
And then we get to see the juxtaposition of the two men in their office. We see the nice police station, very cosmopolitan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the guy's a stockbroker. He's getting calls from his stockbroker.
That's literally, it's funny how they establish that. Where, like, he's talking to Terry Hatcher.
his sister.
We don't know that yet.
Yeah. Well, it's his sister. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. It's his sister.
Yeah.
I just like the one cop knocks on the door, who's the guy who, like, plays the general in all of Michael Bay's movies.
Yeah.
Yes. But he's just like, hey, someone's on the line asking about a margin call. And I was like, really? Like,
Gotta throw that in there.
That's how we're gonna establish that he's like this big stockbroker, independently wealthy cop.
When you
kinda
even
guy.
get the captain, like
Yeah.
you make more money than like whatever. So he
that's
give
it.
lip service to it, right?
Yep.
He's like, but I'm in it for the action, right? Good old American
action.
You want to
Yeah,
stare
that's-
death in the eye? Should have got him married. Is that a
Yes.
proposal?
Yep.
Yes. I like Tango's captain better than you don't see Cash's captain very often.
No.
Cash's captain's way better. He looks like a Commissioner Gordon.
He does.
I hated Pat Hingle.
Pat Hingle. Oh well.
I'll save that for the other one.
Yeah. In about a month, we're going to talk about that movie.
Yes, in a month.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
He's in his office talking to his sister Catherine, who's heading out of town on a dance tour. He doesn't want her to go. He's kind of the overprotective big brother. But you're right. For an audience, I forget sometimes not everyone's seen this 1,000 times.
Right.
Maybe it's his girlfriend. We don't know.
That's
We
what
don't
I
know.
thought because this was the first time I saw it.
Maybe it's his CI.
Maybe.
it's
Yeah.
someone who
knows?
Someone else who works at the department.
You're saying Terry Hatcher could be a CI?
Yeah, why not?
Look, Terry Hatcher. Yeah, actually, she totally could be
Have
a
you
CI.
seen?
She's an exotic dancer.
Yeah.
You should go to Fox Lake and take a look at the CIs there.
Oh, that place is still open in Fox Lake, connected to the gas station.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. You can fill up and then possibly get pink eye all in the same stop.
Yeah. Hey.
Yep.
So
One stop shop. One-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
One lick and a sniff, and
right.
you're out the door.
for $5, one of them will fart in your eye, and you're good to go. Okay. All right. Let me see.
Don't whack me with that. Come on, you join
No, I'm not. That wasn't a threat. That was just me fidgeting. All right. Then we see Cash's police station a little bit differently. Crummy elevator. This shirt cost me $9 and he's mad about it. Cold pizza as it comes by. Like totally different world
Yep.
than the one we just saw.
Yes.
With Tank. So I thought they did a good job of establishing that at least, right?
Yes.
And then Cash finds out that the guy that just attacked him is being interrogated, and he goes, "Let me talk to him." The guy that just tried to blow you away, forget it.
Stay away from him, Gabe.
Right. But he doesn't stay away from him because he asked for an interpreter, claimed he didn't speak English, and I was just waiting for a lawyer. So he just goes into the room, which is like in the locker room or something where they've got this guy.
Makes no sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He's sitting there pissing, and then the interrogation table's right there. I don't know.
Not even. It's just the locker room. It's
I
like
mean, if you have to shove somebody's junk in your face to get them to talk, what better place to do it in the locker room?
there you go.
So he conducts a class. It's called English 101.
Logistics, guys. We don't need them. All right.
And here's how English 101 works. You put a chair on somebody's throat and you sit on it until they know how to speak English.
It's effective.
It's very effective.
Clearly, it was very effective.
Yeah.
Very much against the law nowadays. But
You're speaking like a native already.
yeah.
I don't know. No, that's not going to be good.
Just rocking the chair back and forth.
Oh my gosh, it's good stuff.
What is this? English 101.
The guy walks in, just walks right out.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh,
Yep.
okay, that checks out.
All right,
right.
fine.
This is HR problems written all over.
Meanwhile, back at Bad Guy HQ, this freaking Perrette and his 14. How many TVs does somebody need? Last time we saw someone with a TV bank like that was Shredder, and half of them didn't work. If you remember that,
Yes, I remember that.
Remember, yeah.
This is
You
just-
need it
for what?
to be a bad guy.
That's what it is. He calls up Best Buy or what was it? Circuit City, probably in 1989.
Yeah,
Come on.
Sam Goody probably.
Well,
Sam
you know
Goody,
what? In
we're setting up our evil
1989,
Yeah.
to be fair, it's probably lighter on the wall to have all the little mini TVs and the one big giant
That's probably
projection TV that's 800 pounds.
Sam Goody, we're setting up our evil lair, and how much one gigantic, holy crap! All right, what about 14 little ones?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See,
Perfect.
Now we're saving money.
You're right.
Because I'm losing millions from Tango and Cash.
Cash and Tango.
So I need the cheap televisions, please. They're costing me millions.
Millions of dollars. Can you throw two mice in there for me?
Oh my! This freaking
And here we go with the mice.
This guy is
Here
a
we
dirty
go.
mouse sniffer because the amount of times he pulls these things out just to be like, oh,
Two little mice and so much damage.
he loves to smell a mouse, doesn't he? That's his favorite.
Yeah, you certainly love those mice.
Every time eventually I was like, stop smelling
What do you-
the mice.
Maybe they were rubbed down with Aqua Velva or whatever it was Jack Palance was hawking back in the 80s. You remember those commercials?
I do.
Yeah. He's like, just rub them mice down with the Aqua Velva.
Two little mice.
Oh, Tango and Cash, two little mice.
This whole scene is just ridiculous.
It's great though.
No, it's written as like a Bond villain scene.
Yeah.
But like from a Roger Moore Bond movie. Not even the good ones.
Not even the good ones. That's
No.
really, really well put. Yeah, they're basically like, let's kill, James Hong is like, I'll take care of this the usual way. He's like, no. He's like, come on, quick and easy. Quick and easy is the way you clean a toilet bowl, not how you run a multi-million-dollar business, right?
Yes.
And he's insinuating that while he's got his biggest shipment ever coming in 2 weeks, Tango and Cash will be safely locked, and he puts the rats in the maze behind bars, right? Why make them martyrs? We're going to have all-out war with the police if we kill them, right?
Exactly.
So we'll destroy their
Reputation.
careers, their reputations, all that stuff,
Credibility.
all of that.
Yes.
Meanwhile, a hot tip comes in to both Tango and Cash that there's this big transaction going down at some warehouse on some street somewhere in the city, some shady location. And so both of them show up at this warehouse where we get our first glimpse of Ponytail himself.
Yes, Breon James.
Yes, Brian James, who I think last time we saw him was in The Wrong Guys, and I love that guy. And he was doing this ridiculous Cockney accent through the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And was supposed to only be a small part in the film, but he wanted to make it memorable, so he decided to do this Cockney accent. And Stallone liked it so much and thought it was so funny that he expanded the
Yes,
role and
he
put
was-
it throughout the entire
yes.
movie.
Back
So-
into the troubled production of it as they were
Yes.
writing the screenplay as they were filming and
Right.
rewriting as they were filming. Yes.
So talk about an actor making a brilliant choice and getting himself, basically creating his own iconic role
Oh,
from
yeah.
what was supposed to be a forgettable bad guy.
yeah. Yeah.
Ponytail, one of the best 80s bad guys.
Good
Yes.
on him.
Rakeen.
Rakeen. That's what.
Rakeen,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what I
it
think of it. Rakeen.
That's right. So you see him passing off some, swapping briefcases in a
Oh, the classic the classic briefcase swap
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
yes, and Stallone's in his car going, "Oh yes, I see that. Clearly, there's nefarious activity."
Clearly, briefcases were dropped off and swapped.
Wonder where he shops to get that nice suit. I like a suit. No man wearing that suit with that briefcase is in this neighborhood this time of night.
Speaking of wearing a suit, what the hell? Cash's collarless sweatshirt, straight
it.
out of a '80s workout video. What the hell was that?
It was great.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just in time because it was 1989. I'm like, bro, you wouldn't got 1 year later. You couldn't have
1
done
year
it.
later, you couldn't have done it.
Nope.
Not pulling it off then.
Oh.
They're both. There's random shots of them both making their way through this empty warehouse until finally they hear somebody.
Oh, you know what? I think Cash still had his 12-pound laser gun. At
He
this
does.
point still.
He does.
Why he was making so much noise?
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
Who heard him first? Was it Gabriel that heard first, or was that Tango?
I think
first?
Cash heard him first. So I guess that's a point for Cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they come around the corner at each other, face-off style. Yeah. And like, oh, you're lucky. I would have,
Is it face-off style?
Yeah, where they were like back-to-back against the mirrors. Remember when they turn around, but there's not
Sure.
a mirror there that time.
Or is face-off Tango
Oh,
and Cash
yeah,
style?
That's true.
that could
That's
be.
what it's called,
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
He said, your throat's hanging off that wall back over there. And I pull this trigger. He's like, you do that, I would have cut you in half, right? And they get the whole stupid
With that little
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
tropey.
Right.
Back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
They each have a gun strategically placed. That
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's-
Right. And then it's like, not with this one. With this one.
With
And
this
it cuts
one,
down
right.
to the Colt 45 between his legs. Yeah.
Wow, it's funny that you're here. I heard you're the second best cop in L.A.
That's funny. I heard the same thing about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the banter immediately. He's like, what makes this your case? I've been working for 3 months. That's what makes it my case.
Well, it makes you how dumb you are, because here I am all caught up to you.
Yes. Yes.
I've been on this case for 30 minutes.
I've been on this case. Yeah, yeah, that's the one. I've been on this case for 30 minutes, and here I am, all caught up with you. Yep. Love it.
Great stuff. And so they're about to go into the room that they've, inevitably tracked in here. And he goes, all right, we'll go on 3. You cover me. And he's like, all right. Cash goes, yeah, sure. Stallone count. When he hits 2, Russell just goes 3. And he just goes him.
Yep.
Yes.
It's great. But the dude is dead. They get in there. It's a dead body with an orgy of evidence, as it's called, right?
Sure.
Just drugs and guns and tapes and
Everything. And the guy's wearing a wire.
He's wearing a
Yep.
Why is he wired? Right? First thing out of his mouth. Then he starts Stallone keeps coming back to it. I didn't expect this, and to tell you the truth, I didn't expect you. Why the hell is he wired? Like, he keeps coming back to the fact that he's wired, and they're putting it together, and you're like, oh, they're really good cops. But how good cops were they? Because they were in there for a few minutes and didn't notice Cash's gun laying right on the floor next to the body. Because when the feds, which there's like 50 G-men in the closets in the hallways waiting to bust it into the room.
They were like foot soldiers just waiting.
Right.
Standing on top of each other in the closet.
They drop their
Harry.
guns because it's a setup, right?
Harry, you are not cooking. Your wife's cooking is terrible. I can smell your ass sweat. John, get your foot out of my ear.
They're supposed to be here any minute. I can hear his gun coming.
I smell that aquavelva. Aquavelva. That must be Tango. No.
Oh, here they are. Wait. Oh, here we go. All right. No, go. But they had a minute or two there. The gun is right there.
Yeah.
Because they put their guns down and then the feds come in and pick up the other gun.
Standing next to it.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, that's my gun.
Yeah.
That's my gun. I
Shut
put it
up,
in my
Cash.
locker."
Yeah, shut up, Cash.
Stop talking.
But he knew.
That was the funny thing. If you go back and he says, "Who's been messing with my gun?" The sights are shifted on it.
Right.
Yes, that's
Earlier.
back to the earlier.
But it's just like
precinct.
So they messed with your gun early on,
But then didn't take it.
but then didn't take it, and then they
Came back after.
came back and
no,
got
no.
it.
So do we deduct a point for Cash because he didn't realize that it actually wasn't his gun in his desk drawer? that he
That's what
found?
I always thought it was.
Yeah,
it was that
swapped
they
it.
had swapped it for a piece that was identical,
Yeah.
but then since he
Put it in.
knew it,
Right.
then since he knew his
That's
gun
probably
so
what
well,
happened.
Ah,
Probably a swap job.
swap job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with crappy continuity.
You're going down for this.
Oh, Louis Arquette, David
Yeah.
Arquette's dad.
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh man, these guys, these FBI agents.
I'm gonna blow both your effing brains out.
That's right. Oh, that other guy.
Make a move.
That's right.
Let me tell you.
That guy.
Another intense
Another guy that was
You might
going
not have came
for
with
it.
him, but you're leaving with him, Jack.
Why are you shouting?
Because this was his
right
one
here.
shot to make it. He's like, I'm going for it.
Exactly.
Another one, wife's cooking him eggs and bacon. Honey, I'm going for it tonight.
Because even Tango's like, "What'd you do?" Like to Cash, like he's like, I don't know this man. I'm sorry. They,
Shouts again.
they're both getting arrested. So here's this quick montage of news reports and newspapers and a news anchor all saying like, cops have been arrested and the dishonored the police force. What the headlines are saying, and they're claiming setup, and it's like this preamble to what's going to be a very truncated, at least in the movie, court. Because they've got a montage of different people testifying, like Skinner testifying, Michael Jeter, great character actor,
Yep.
testifying about the tape because they've got a doctored a tape to make it sound like they were in the room. They had some of the feds, testifying. The one guy I always think of from Total Recall that came in to try to get him to swallow the pill.
Yeah. What's the
They call
chubby
him,
cheeks?
They call him Jabba the Hutt in the movie.
Jabba the Hutt.
Which they're like, make sure we rip Jabba the Hutt's tongue out or whatever.
With the tow truck.
But then they never actually go back and find Jabba the Hutt
No, they don't.
in the movie unless it was cut out. But essentially, yes. All these guys are testifying against him, and they have the worst lawyers in the history of the world.
I mean,
One lawyer's
Pretty
drinking
basic.
water like it's going out of style.
Because he knows he's screwed. He's like, "Don't talk, man. No. It's fine. I gotta make.
I'll
a
get you
statement."
off. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do like when they got the guy up on the stand that he had been teaching English to.
Yeah.
And he's got the interpreter saying, "Officer Cash put a chair on my neck and sat on it. I couldn't find a piano."
yes.
And you get all these little one-liners, right? I'll bring the chainsaw.
I'll bring the beer.
For like they're going to get back at all of these people. But ultimately, it comes time where their lawyers advise them it's time to cop a plea. And so there's this brief scene between him and Cash going, if we cop a plea, we're going to cop it together because I'm not going to leave you holding the bag. And, I say we're guilty. You still want to fight it. We're going to do this together. We're not going to do it. So they decide they're going to cop a plea. 18 months minimum security is what's on the table. They go out. And they argue about who gets to make the statement because of seniority and birthdays and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it comes down to Ray to make the statement. And he makes a very eloquent statement about, I hope none of this reflects badly on the police officers because these are good cops all just trying to do their jobs. And, a nice, eloquent speech that his lawyer, for some reason, was like, no, shut up.
Yeah,
Don't get up
exactly.
there. Stop. This is some of the best acting in the movie right here. And it's a little small moment I want to highlight. Because Cash is not supposed to say anything when Ray sits down and the judge, whatever, goes, "Do you have anything to add, Mr. Cash?" And the little, yeah, like that little moment of the crossing his mind and the smile and just perfect moment.
Perfect moment
Kurt
of Kurt Russell.
Yes.
Yes.
He stands up and he starts off okay, but ultimately he says, "This whole thing sucks."
This is the biggest pile.
And the whole place starts going nuts. All the cops.
All the
"Yeah."
cops are clapping. Yeah. Rambo, Rambo. Yeah.
Rah, 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 rah. And it's not enough. Obviously, they're going to jail. I was surprised that they would plead guilty to something. It's like admitting that they did it.
They
right?
pleaded no contest.
They plead no contest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
But then their bus got detour to the maximum security
We
penitentiary.
were going to the bingo parlor.
at the YMCA.
Yeah, they were going to the club fed, and then they end up at
They're joking about how there's a golf course there, right? You know,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not where they ended up.
no.
Nope.
I don't think they've got a golf
Those
course here.
Doors open.
Yep.
and we are in the sticks.
We are, yes, in a prison with a capital P.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very much so.
And they strip them down, and we get to see both of their asses. That's for the ladies, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
That's for all of us.
Is it for you as well?
Come on.
All right.
Is it okay?
Come on.
I don't, no disrespect.
Kurt and Sly in their prime.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cheek to cheek.
Cheek to cheek.
I'll still see their ass at their age now. Come on.
There you go. Iconic.
Maybe Tango and Cash too.
Iconic. Dude, if they ever did it, they would have to do a button butt shot. There's no way.
Oh, at this age? That'd
Yes.
be horrifying.
That's why they would have to do it, just
Yeah.
to like make it, tongue in cheek.
I got
Can you
you.
imagine having to be the one to shave those asses?
No.
Writing a credit, special assistant to Mr. Stallone's ass.
Special groomer assistant. Right next
Phil,
to
we need you. Okay.
Can't you get the key grip to do it?
Yeah. Put that light down. Get over
Light
here.
down.
he doesn't have smooth hands.
Grab a Bic. Why? What are we going to be doing? You don't want to know.
I hear Jack Palance got Aquavelva in his trailer. Go get that.
Absolutely.
We're not going to make you look at them. We're just going to set their butts up through a hole in a sheet, and you're going to shave these.
You don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know who's is who.
You won't even know who's whose. So they won't look at you weird at the catering table at craft services. They're not going to know, Phil.
That's how it's done.
Okay.
The butt just comes through the
Comes through the hole.
Random
in the
ass in the hole in the sheet.
random ass in the hole, and you just gotta
That's right.
go to work.
Then they have the shower scene. I love the shower scene.
The shower scene
Yeah.
is classic.
Great dialogue.
Great dialogue, great scene. One of the best scenes of the movies.
Sly is almost like just not saying anything. He's almost accepting what's coming, right? He goes, I think they're going to put us, or no, that's later. He goes, all right, who do you think set us up is what Cash is saying. He's not answering. It's got to be Quan, right? No, it's Lopez. He has that guy pretend to try and kill me the whole time thinking I would think it was Quan, but now I know it's Lopez, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, if you're so goddamn smart, you tell me who set us up.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Relax. Soap. Don't count on it, Pee-wee.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know you that well.
Don't worry. Don't
right.
worry, Tango. The other one will drop.
Yeah,
Just keep talking, Minnie Mouse.
That was it all. That was
that was pretty much
that
the
was
whole
it.
thing.
That's
I
the
love
scene.
it. The dynamic between them is fantastic.
You know, for your
Exactly.
IQ, you're still unarmed and still very dangerous.
What's funny about this is I can't remember very often, if ever, in a movie where someone has done Stallone's voice to Stallone like that, and the fact that Kurt Russell goes, "You don't know," and he starts imitating
Yeah.
Stallone.
Yes. Yeah.
Is my favorite part
it's
of
awesome.
that scene. It's great, fantastic. But he ends the scene with Cash goes, well, I got another bad point here. I think they're going to put us in general population. They don't put cops in general population. Smash cut to them being put in general population.
Never put cops in general population, huh?
Not only are they're walking through literally things that are on fire.
Yes. What kind of
There's
prison is this?
All this stuff just flying at them like bricks and mortar and all
From someone
this
who's
stuff.
worked in a prison facility before.
Yes.
There's just bonfires in the walkway,
No.
the cell block.
No. Never once.
Keenan watched this with us, and
you
he
know?
said, "Why is everything on fire in this prison?"
Doesn't make any
Fire marshal was killed.
at all.
It's I mean it fits into like everything else that we've already pointed out that
Yes.
doesn't make sense.
Yes.
And now here we are in this prison that doesn't make sense.
Smokey the Bear was assassinated.
He was in that prison.
Yeah.
They walk up the step, and then the guards that are escorting them let them stop and have a whole conversation with Shoveljaw because he's over there rattling his cages.
Yeah.
Oh, bring them to me! Bring them to me!
You know, punk, when you get out of here, I'm going to turn you into an ass.
What the hell does that mean?
You know Captain Dynaball here?
Yes!
Oh.
I love you, Conan the Barbarian.
I'm like, is that a shot at Arnie? I think it is.
I think it is.
Might be.
I think it is.
Yep.
If you need me and my ass will be in the neighborhood. And just slams it. The whole time the prison guard's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, just All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Lets him slam his nose into the bar.
As he's like grinding it and it's bleeding across the bar.
I think you're going to be really popular here.
Yes.
Yeah. And off they go. And we
Off
meet
they go.
their roommates.
Clint Howard.
Cash's roommate,
The Cash's roommate
Like,
goes to use the toilet.
6.5 foot tall, 400-pound black guy who's just not going to let him use the toilet.
That's the funniest thing. The foot comes out and he's like, "You ain't gonna be using that."
That's right. I don't care where you go, just not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's in a little bit of a worse situation because Sly has Clint Howard,
The
who he
Slinky.
calls Slinky.
Yes.
This is my fiance, Slinky.
You see this guy? I killed him.
Oh, gracious.
Crazy people aren't afraid of anybody.
Sugar is up. I cannot believe
He's
this.
just totally ignoring him. He's trying to like basically put on a show of how crazy and intimidating he is.
Yeah.
Sly couldn't care less.
Exactly.
And
It's just Clint Howard.
yeah, Clint Howard being all Clint Howardy,
That's all it is.
and it's perfect.
It's awesome.
It's actually perfect. All right, so first night, the entire prison. It's the first night, lights out. The entire prison gets out of their cells to come and capture Tango and Cash.
Yes, that
And
always happens after lockdown.
Yeah.
they all come out and they throw their ass down the laundry chute. And every time that fall, dude, I wince.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that chute is
Dude,
so high up
high
there.
up, yeah.
And when they film the stunt, those
Yes.
guys hit the freaking ground.
Yes,
It's a good stunt.
with their arms
Yes.
in the sack, and so you can't catch yourself, and it's just boom onto the concrete.
Yeah. It hurts.
Oh my gosh!
It hurts.
Every single time, ouch! And they get up, and what do you think this is? A surprise party? They're all starting. I tell you, if we panic, we're history. Right? Don't panic.
Don't panic. I'm panicking.
Don't panic.
Yeah. Out of the steam,
Not all the way because they're obstructed by shadow.
their shadow. Yes.
But Perrette, Jack Palance, and Rakeen are in the prison.
yes.
How in the frick do they get into the laundry room, boiler area, wherever the hell this is,
Yeah.
in the prison?
You have to watch the extended cut.
Oh, is it in the extended cut?
There's no extended cut.
Oh, you know, my hopes up there for a second.
The 3-hour extended cut that can explain all these questions that we have.
Right.
You're a bright boy. He comes over and and Rakeen's got the knife.
Don't panic.
He's like, I'll rip your tongue out, and wrap it into a lovely Windsor nut for you.
to come out of here with a boy for all I care? Just don't let him do it. I don't want to get killed by a slimy immigrant jerk off. I want to get killed by an American jerk off.
Dude,
That's not all of it, but that's the gist of what he says.
Yes. You want to slit my throat? Go ahead. You can cut my head off and throw it with a basketball for all I
I
care.
love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Just don't let him do it.
What are you doing? I'm buying time. For what? I don't know yet.
I love Stallone's face when he starts going off. He's like,
He just told you don't panic.
yeah.
Right.
And
Yes.
then
Right.
he's
Yes.
absolutely
He's panicking.
freaking out. And then, oh shit, it's Conan. It's Conan. Real badass cops. And here comes old shovel jaw back
Yes.
out of the smoke himself.
yeah.
And the street, this pig and his cop friend broke my leg, my arm, and my jaw.
Yeah. And he's like,
That was perfect. You broke that jaw?
jaw?
Oh,
You
no,
broke
before that,
that
he
jaw?
goes, you don't so tough now. You don't look so tough now, do you? Do you?
you broke that jaw?
He goes, must mean you.
He's having a bad day.
Like now? Like no.
Oh, the double punch and then the inevitable fight sequence of them taking on 50 prisoners between the two of them. And there are a couple of shots in this fight specifically that were fantastic. First of all, Sly backhand punches a dude, and this grown man flies 10 feet into
Yeah.
the air and takes out like 4 other dudes from one backhand punch from Sly Stallone.
That's classic.
Classic. Then you get Cash headbutting the guy and then firing his face off the side of like a piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It was just shot so well, so good. But the coup de grace, the chef's kiss of this fight is Gabriel Cash doing the sliding dick punch.
was wonderful.
I was like, that belongs in the BMR Dick Punch Hall of Fame,
that's
along with
going up on the wall.
the Chuck Norris breaker dick shot on the stairs, and Sho Kasugi dick punch to the Japanese guy in the playground on Revenge of the Ninja.
Revenge of the Ninja.
Yes. You remember that one?
Oh,
It
that
was
was a crazy movie.
this was just an incredible, and I know a lot about dick punches because we literally made it a plot point in our own movie.
I was gonna say.
You could probably tell this was definitely shot, directed by Stallone. This had to be this one scene.
Yeah.
The weird thing Stallone does in this movie and not many others in his fighting, he does a lot of open hand strikes in this movie. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Instead of full on punches, he's hitting guys palm of his hand. And it's weird because it's not something he really did in his other movies.
I'd never noticed that until you just said something.
Yeah.
But
So I don't know if that was even, or if it was just the stunt coordinator that wanted to do. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't
maybe
matter.
just wanted to switch it up.
Just a little thing.
Yeah.
They finally overwhelm them. They hoist them up on these chains, and they're going to lower them into the water while Ponytail, in his wife beater, is going to electrocute them with this broken open wire.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And they just start to fry them one at a time. Also, the guys holding the chains, totally fine, by the way,
Yeah.
because the electricity is not going to travel through metal. I don't know if you know how electricity works. It doesn't travel through metal.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Got it.
So
yeah.
if they were
to
wooden
know.
chains, then they all would have gotten electrocuted. Yeah. So just so you know.
Okay.
But ultimately, the whole party is broken up, and Perrette recedes back into the shadows because
And
Matt
then out of
Stokowski-
nowhere,
Yeah.
the guards finally show up.
the guards were here.
Wow.
We realized all of the cells were empty.
We realized everyone was out of their cell.
we
How
came
did
off
this
break.
happen?
All the cells were open. Nobody was in them.
That's right.
Whoever was watching those cameras is fired.
We just thought it was really weird. There was no
weird.
one here.
There was no one in the prison at all.
This wasn't pizza snack night, so I don't know.
we
just
checked
figured
the
something was going
cafeteria
on.
first.
Yeah, nobody was there having ice
No
cream.
one was
pizza.
there. So we thought maybe the rec yard weren't there. We basically checked everywhere but here. But we're here now, so disperse.
So disperse. But that's the best. Everyone just disperses.
Yeah,
There's like no.
they go back to their
No
cells.
consequences. And like you said, Jack Palance just kind of like he does. His
slinks
move,
back.
like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's not even good though.
No.
Like, it's just a weird like just gonna like shoulder roll around this corner
Yes.
into the smoke.
It was fine.
It was
Yeah,
weird.
It's just weird that he's there.
It was weird.
The shot that what he did is weird.
Yes.
Why is it weird?
It was weird.
How is it weird?
I explained it.
Millisecond.
Yeah.
Everything great about the movie. That's the one thing you're hung up on. Is how
Yeah.
he rolls back into the shadows.
Yeah, and later on he's going to say straight up bad movie because of that shot specifically.
He probably will. Yeah.
Probably.
I was going to say straight up
checks
good
out.
movie.
I was thinking that was thinking that was going to be a good movie.
Good movie that sucks, but
you
because
know,
of that one scene,
that
way
one
he-
cutaway
Went back into the shadows. It's
it was into the steam first
not
of
very.
all.
Went back into the steam is not very French.
It looks like what they actually
wasn't very
had
good
them
mise
do.
en scene.
Mise en scene.
You're right. It was not a good mise en scene. Thank you.
Like pistons.
Just the piss on scene.
Mise en scene.
All right.
You get hung up on the dumbest crap.
I do.
That's what's endearing about him, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. Matt.
you know what? You've been friends with me for 16 years.
Yeah, so
I love you every
so,
second.
joke's on you.
What's that?
So the joke's on you.
I know. I just have to give him crap every time he says something. Just when I think he's gonna go a whole episode without mentioning one obnoxious French stupid film critic term and why this one scene was terrible, he can't help himself. I can't wait.
Okay.
You know what? Have that guy fired. Hey, have
That's
that
right.
second unit director fired for the way Jack Balance, you're fired.
That's right.
You effed up the shot going back into steam.
Everybody got that?
All right.
Good.
We find out that the assistant warden coming in here is a former CO of Cash. That's how they know each other. So he's like, look, man, this is only going to keep getting worse. You got only one option, escape. And he'll help, I'll help you set up the escape and get you out. They've been there a day. A day. I got you the best work detail. It'll all be good. Gabriel's in, but Tango doesn't want to do it because he doesn't trust Stokowski. And ultimately, he wants to stay with his fiancee, Slinky, in his cell. And I do love what Kurt Russell's like, I hope you and cousin It here have a wonderful life together and raise a beautiful litter.
Ciao.
Ciao. That's right.
Ciao.
And so Cash is going to go try to do the breakout himself, and he's on garbage duty. He's shoving a dumpster, through the rain.
Dark and stormy night when the lightning's crashing.
That's right. That's it. And he waited for the thunder to roll so he could chop his way through a wall with a pickaxe.
The one night a year it rains in L.A.
Right. That's another great point. Hold on, isn't this in Los Angeles?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Probably Northern
That's true.
California.
I don't know where they took the prison is, but assuming it was somewhere close to L.A.
Yeah, they didn't take long to get back.
Not only is it raining, it is
pouring.
monsooning.
Right.
Yes.
Cash is able to break through the wall and into a shaft where there's like these fans that Tchaikovsky had one shut off for him.
Yeah.
He gets through it, and as he's about to meet up with Matt's body just comes sliding down. It's some kind of drainage shaft or something, basically.
Yeah.
And his they cut him ear to ear, as he says later, right? And Matt's dead, and now here are the guards, and the guards are closing in on him, led by a prisoner.
Yeah,
is leading
that was
the
very
guards.
Yeah,
They're on the
Yes.
take.
Shovel Jaws leading these guards in.
And he's like ordering them around.
Yeah, he's like their commanding officer now. All of a sudden, like
We must obey the jaw.
So bad.
we get knocked out by the jaw. If we
In
don't
any
obey
difference
the
of
jaw.
opinion, in an alpha male situation, the man with the biggest jaw overrules everybody else.
That must have been it.
That sounds
gotta
about
be.
that
Because the
sounds
rest
about
of those
right.
guards were they were small, pointy jaws. So
and even the dogs were listening to him.
yeah, the dogs. I mean, even dogs are like, oh shit, nope, not gonna mess with that jaw.
They were like, "Ruh, ruh, ruh," which translates to, "Did you see that guy's jaw?" So ultimately, they they turn the other fan back on. He's now trapped in there. They're trying. He put a crowbar through the door, but they're banging on. And he's trapped. Can't go through the door because they're on the other side of it. The fans are starting to back up. But Ray shows up and stops one of these giant fans with a pipe.
And his pure masculinity.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Unadulterated,
Shaved ass and all shows up.
Unfettered masculinity.
That's right. Stops. The thing grinds to a halt. He's holding a pipe there, and he's like, "Come on, I got it lonely. I can't hold it all day." That's really good. They stop the fan. They're able to run out. Right as the gunfire starts, the fan starts back up and starts blocking the guns, and they end up out a hatch into the roof. And they're up some kind of piping to like what looks like a grain mill, but I know it's not because we're in a prison. But it's like
It's probably like a water tower or something
like that.
Yeah.
I love the
climbing along
exposed
top.
wires.
just sparking,
and flying everywhere.
Prison wires, they don't coat them.
Yeah, they don't go to
No.
They get to the top of this thing.
It's pyrotechnics from a Def Leppard concert from last night.
That's right. Live from, well, I don't even know what prison it was. We don't even know.
It's off the grid.
They get to the top of this thing. They're like, "You sure this is the way?" Well, we could go back. Epic jumping shot from the tower to the roof.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yes.
Then they have to kind of walk sideways. There's all these electrical like conduits and wiring.
They're transformers. They're all
Transformers
these
and
exposed
stuff.
transformers.
And they're just trying to like shimmy between all of them, right? And I'm real tired of electricity as they get through the whole thing, but they get through them, and they run up to the edge. And again, one of my favorite parts of this whole movie. He's like, "All right, we slide down these cables. We're home free. Does that sound like a brilliant idea or what? We're gonna fry. We're gonna fry. You don't know anything about electricity, do you?
No.
As long as we're only touching one wire and we're not touching the ground, you don't get electrocuted, right?"
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. It's just so great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
He
know
goes,
either.
"If I don't make it, are you even going to try it?"
Depends on how close you get.
And sure enough, Gabe gets his belt out. Lots of deep breaths.
As a stunt, though.
Yeah.
Come on. And like the whole setup of everything, like you said, the other wire that's sparking in the background.
Yes.
Like it's just this
Pouring rain.
pouring rain,
It looks fantastic.
lightning crashing, sparks in the background.
Yeah. And the actual
Beautiful.
shots that they got of them through the air reaching for the wires
Yes.
looked beautiful.
The mise
Oh
en
yeah,
scene.
those were great shots.
The mise en scene was beautiful.
Catches the Gabe
That was
catches
mise
it.
en scene, not piss on scene there.
That was Mazan.
That was
That was mise en scene.
I was turned on. That was a Rizon scene. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a.
All right, that's
You're gonna need a. Never mind.
that's.
just gonna hit the
He leaps,
trapdoor.
grabs that,
Oh, man.
grabs that freaking wire, throws the belt over it.
Flexing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
slides off into
Starts sliding
oblivion.
down with the belt, kicking bicycle, kicking his
Yes.
feet as he's going across.
Dude, that was a long drop.
That was that was a long way, and I love how the guards, like
Just
the alarms are
oblivious.
going off. Guards are like running across with the shotgun, like okay.
He's flying behind him.
Once they're out of the prison, which we'll talk about what happens with Sly here in a second, but once they are out, they just stop looking for them. Like the alarms are going off. They don't go outside the walls to try and track them down.
No,
Nothing.
But there's no manhunt type thing or anything like
Nothing
that.
really at all. So Gabriel gets down the wire, drops a mile and a half off the wire down to the ground. That looked super painful.
No, I was gonna say another fall that is
Yes.
super painful.
There should have been several broken legs in this movie.
Then
was.
Sly is like, all right, my turn to run. And as he's full slow motion run, if he had just ran in regular speed, probably would have made it.
Yeah.
But he's
Gotta do the Stallone run.
running in
Yeah.
slow mo. And Robert Tsar opens the trap door fast enough to trip him up
Trips
Yep.
over the jaw.
right in the water, which just added so much because he comes out and he chains his ankle and he's just yanking him and
Did you
pulling him
notice
around.
it was they did the shot? It was he whipped with the non-clawed end, but then
Oh,
it was
clawed
the
him.
claw. They had it wrapped around the claw when they did the other close-up
Even the
shot.
chain knows to obey the jaw. Okay, it'll manifest a hook, just not to piss Robert Zadar off.
It's like, whoa, your claw's like, oh damn, I went with the wrong end here.
Okay, yeah, but because there's that layer of water on the ground as he's dragging him and thrashing him around, it makes it look awesome.
Yeah.
because there's just water flying everywhere.
Beautiful.
It's great, and it's not really a fight that happens. He just eventually stops
Disappointing.
himself with one foot, and he's trying to pull back on the wire to get enough slack to take the hook out. And he does that classic like thing you used to do to your sibling when you would pull really tight and then let go of something and they would go flying.
Yep.
I mean, everyone that's had a little brother or sister or even a friend
I've ever had that from me a couple times. It explains the
done that.
minor brain bleeds here and there.
You're playing tug of war over something. You're playing tug of war over something, and you just let go, and you go. But that's exactly what he does to Zadar.
Yep.
The dude goes flying back into these Transformers, and all right, it's a movie, so let it go. But it would have been one touch, instant death. He would have just dropped dead. That's it. He definitely wouldn't have had all this.
Well, the jaw's absorbing the power. Yeah. And then his jaw reactor reached peak maximum point and then just ruptured.
Right? I mean, that was hilarious.
I wish he caught on fire. That would have been.
While continuing to yell.
Yeah.
There would have been no yelling. It would have been dead. That would have been it.
Yeah, because he touched both wires and was grounded.
I'm saying. Over. Yeah.
But if he could have somehow kept his feet up and only hanging onto one wire, he'd have
then
been fine.
He's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't you know how electricity works?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know either. Little meta inside jokes since they already did the Rambo call out when Sly finally does slide down the wire and let go and slips a disc as he hits the ground.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's like, I'll meet you up later for a coffee in Danish or whatever. He's like, I hate Danish. And you know why that's in the script, right? Because we talked about Cobra the 1 year he was married to Brigitte Nielsen.
And he had been divorced from Bridget Nielsen at this point, and she had taken him for
Yes.
a little bit, not everything.
It was
but
not a amicable divorce.
No.
No.
That
But
explains that then.
That is
A very famous
definitely-
Dane
Yeah.
herself.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They put it in the movie. I hate Danish as a shot at his ex-wife.
Now,
Wow.
that makes that line funnier now, honestly. I'm like,
Yes.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to California. The Danishes out there are shitty. They are. I grew up in Racine.
He's doing a review of the Danish.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm
They
thinking.
had
I'm
nothing
like,
on the Danish and Quick Trip.
oh, hell no. O&H.
Some O&H. That's what I was going to say, dude.
I get it, Sly. I've been to California, had those Danishes too. They're
We've
crap.
got listeners all over the world, right?
Dry.
If you're chilling in the UK right now, or Australia, or Canada, or anywhere in the country, get your butts out to Wisconsin.
Yes.
Go to Racine. Go to O&H Bakery.
Yes.
And have yourself a real damn Danish, you bastards.
And
Even the people in Denmark go
right.
to O&H.
And
Yeah.
buy yourself a Kringle for the road.
That's
Hell
what's
yes.
up, dude.
yes.
It's good
yes.
stuff.
All right.
All right.
O&H
anyway,
commercial over.
Back at headquarters, you already got Jack Palance going, like, put him on, like, you know, Quan and Lopez on the TV, and they're like posed like a JCPenney, like, glamour shot. One's like
Well, maybe they weren't getting their photo done at JCPenney photo studio.
One's like sitting down this way, the other one's standing up behind him.
And all of
I'm
a
like,
sudden they're like, oh, crap, we're on.
what guy is following them around with a camera ready to
Right. This is way before Zoom.
That's what I'm
Way
saying.
before Zoom calls.
It's just okay. I already know about the breakout. Right. It's time we take this in our own hands. I insist. Don't insist.
Yeah.
Jack Palance is scary when he yells.
Yeah.
Oh, always has been.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, Ponytail comes by and drops off the rat so we can sniff them before bedtime.
It's mouse sniffing time.
He's like, I know it's almost
8
time for
o'clock.
bed.
It's 8 o'clock. Time to sniff the mice.
The freaking mice.
Ray Tango goes to the Fed's house, the guy that was like, you're going down for this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
stop. And man, oh man, you remember Last Action Hero? What's the elbow, or who did the doctor treat?
Patience.
What's the elbow in my jacket doing?
Wearing thin.
Exactly, right? Every time I hear a scene like this, I think of that scene.
Yeah.
Because when Sly comes in, he goes, judging by your diet, it's obviously you're not too worried about counting calories. Could it be because you're too busy counting the money you got to set us up? And I'm like, wow, that's a stretch. You know, for a line. And then a minute
whole
later.
scene is
Yeah.
a stretch for lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because right after he does another one, he's like, you're looking awful anemic.
He puts the gun up to his face like, you're looking anemic. You need a little iron in your diet. And he puts the gun up to his mouth.
He's not.
like, okay,
he's not.
Sly.
He's not Schwarzenegger. That's,
Some of Sly's one-liners work really well in this movie.
Yeah.
but
some
the
of them-
long,
Yes.
overdrawn.
Like
dialogue.
they took a
Yeah.
long way to land that plane there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Even 2 sentences is a long way
yeah,
for Sly.
for sure. So he ultimately is like cops to it immediately, right? He's like, they paid me a lot of money. I'm sorry, my life's not worth anything. I'll come with you and we can split it. And he's like doing whatever he can.
is. We can split it. He literally does it like that.
Ultimately, he's gonna haul him away, but he bodies Stallone into the bathroom in the hallway and runs to the garage. Thank goodness he shut the door behind him, because it's the only thing that keeps Stallone from getting his face blown off.
Right.
Because as soon as he opens not even start the car, as soon as he opens the door,
Yeah.
boom.
Turns out car bomb.
And a really obvious looking stunt man goes flying in the hallway. Like, that's not Sly. Guy's got a real recognizable face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's
It doesn't happen often.
No.
But,
No.
But in
yes,
that
here's,
case,
here's
yeah.
the moment where you can see him not doing his stuff.
Yeah.
for sure. Cash goes to visit Owen at the LAPD R&D lab.
Yep. Because that's probably a thing.
Crazy Owen.
Once
I
again.
love it. I wish that's true. I wish there was some weird dude in the basement at the LAPD coming up with gadgets and crap.
This is a whole thing. It's a whole lab. It's once
Yeah.
again,
It's Q.
Q. It's
Yes.
written like a Bond movie.
Yeah.
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 They got the dog.
They got the dog.
The dog with the number
gun
one
in its
defense for
mouth.
old
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
It'll blow up and then get rid of the old person. We'll have less old people.
Head blows off.
He's there to basically pick up guns, because right after this, he's going to Skinner's, audio lab, basically, where the guy, Michael Jeter's character made
Heads over to Mr. Noodle's place.
Yeah, Smith from Elmo.
Elmo's world.
That's
yeah.
right.
He's
That
in there
is.
mixing Elmo's voice. Just
La 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 la. And Cash is like, "What the hell is this?" I said, "Well, what are you doing in here?" And he turns around. He's got this big old shotgun, right? He's like, "Good place. Good thing this place is soundproof. That way, no one will hear me beating the truth out of you."
The scene is leaps and bounds better.
Then the
Yeah.
Than-
iron in your diet
Yes.
scene,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Well, it's like, I am the foremost expert. Well, you're not going to be for long. You keep using junky equipment like this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's state-of-the-art
line.
equipment.
I love. Is it? He just starts around, starts.
Speakers.
He shoots the speakers.
I love it.
I made a copy of the conversation, though. He points the shotgun right at his face. Happy to give you a copy.
There you go.
There you
Now
go.
we're talking. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
No.
Oh, it's much, much better. Then we have, there are some scenes that I'm like, what are we doing here? We go to the Cleopatra Club because as they separated after prison, he's like, if it gets too hot for you out there, go to Club Cleopatra, ask for Catherine, right? She'll know how to find me.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he goes to, this is where Cash goes to the Cleopatra Club looking for not Kiki. He doesn't know it's Kiki. He's looking for Catherine. Okay. But he's not having any luck. He's asking people. Nobody knows who the hell Catherine
How the
is.
hell do they not know who Catherine is? Is this place got that many employees? Like, Catherine? I don't know. We got like 8,000 Catherines here.
Right. That was all kinds of
Catherine.
Catherines here. Yeah, everyone's kind of being a tool.
Yeah.
Why do the cops just suddenly descend on the place out of nowhere?
Don't question it.
Yeah.
Because
Anonymous tip.
And the cops
Someone-
are the dumbest, doofiest looking
walking
cops.
around like, oh, they got whores
Dude.
here.
That's
Yeah, that
this
one
guy.
copy is like, oh, titties.
Literally comes in like chewing freaking big chew. Like,
Oh, wait. Oh, check this chick out.
yeah.
It's just like the cop. They probably got the same damn cops from the first Superman movie. I hated the cops in that movie. They were dumb as hell.
In Superman 78?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the military too.
Yes.
It's probably the same guy. They're like when Lex Luthor's woman's laying around. He's like,
Yeah.
"All right, guys, turn around. I'm gonna make out with this woman."
Yeah.
And they all just have their helmets cockeyed like this. Like,
Oh, that's right.
there's a pair.
Yeah.
There's a pair of tits right here. Hold on. All right,
Hey,
everybody turn
nothing's
around.
better than the army guys that try to fight Zod and the other two at that little town in wherever the hell they were, Houston. No, that's what they called it, Planet Houston. But anyway,
Anyway, back to Tango and Cash.
Tango and
Cops are
Cash.
just as bad in Tango and Cash.
yeah. Well, how about Terry Hatcher? She's able to put everything together,
She's the
figure out
worst.
exactly what's happening, who he is, the fact that they're after him, all while not missing a step of her choreography. So impressive.
Kudos to her.
Good on Terry Hatcher.
Kudos to her.
She was really crappy playing the drum.
Because she knew when to come down and distract.
Yes. She starts playing the drum.
What are you saying? She's not a good drummer?
She hits one note the same way. She's like, ding dong.
All right, so she's not
Well,
Phil
okay.
Collins, Bob.
So she's not Blue Man
Okay.
Group. All right. I mean,
Sorry.
Hey. I mean, if you can't drum, do something else with those sticks, okay?
No one's paying to see her drum.
No.
Okay.
No.
No one was like, you got to come see this chick, man. She does this drum solo for like 10 seconds. It's incredible.
There are some great women
dude.
drummers, but not Terry
Not
Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher. Oh, no, I'm not trying to say women can't drum. Did I
No.
come across that way?
No, you didn't. But Terry Hatcher
All right,
cannot
anyway,
drum.
no, she can't. After the distraction, he goes back into the dressing room, but she's like, I'm Catherine. Okay.
My favorite scene in the whole movie.
yeah.
No way.
I find that hard to believe.
No.
Come on.
Goes back into the stripper's dressing room. That was your favorite
Perfect
part.
tan lines. I loved it. Ryan's over there saying like, yep, I'm a respectful married man.
Yeah.
I will not say anything on a microphone.
Hell of a mise en scene, right?
Yeah, that's a mise en scene.
It was a good mise en
That's
scene.
a mise on my pants.
So he goes back into the dressing room. There are, just random 80s boobs all over the place in there.
Yeah.
And,
He's had the best boobs.
and they're all like walking right past Cash. Like,
Yeah.
right. You see these?
Because the camera's
in
right,
front of
there. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Like,
gonna go out there tonight. Another case of I'm gonna go out there and get that part.
yeah, shoulders go back a little further as they're walking past.
They
Cash.
hired me for.
Did you see the blonde? That was the first
That's
one.
what I'm saying.
Just like,
Oh, yeah.
boom.
Yeah,
They hired me for two reasons. And we're gonna get
two
the
reasons
not-
I got this part.
That's not
There's
what's
two
in-
reasons.
There's two reasons. That's not
One
my
of
brain.
All right. So he says to her, there's no place else I'd rather be, but is there somewhere else we can talk? Like we got this whole place is a cop convention, and the scene is really just to get the two of them together because he has a quick think moment where he's like, "Hey Elvis, what size are you?" Because there's this dude in the leather jacket there, and then she dresses in his clothes and he comes out in drag because the cops are checking everyone coming out of the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
you.
come on.
I don't know. You buying it? I mean, who's better? Who wore better, Willem Dafoe
I
or
was
Kurt Russell?
just gonna say he at least looked better than Defoe did in Boondock Saints.
He did. Like I bought Kurt Russell a little more.
A little more, barely.
Defoe looked like leftover on the floor at the Barney Island on Thursday night drag races.
The Thursday night boat races out there. Yeah.
Yeah, not really a whole lot of reason for this. Just really, whole scene's kind of random.
William Defoe.
All right, back to Tango Cash.
Tango Cash.
They go back to Kiki's place, and he's getting a massage. Now,
Because this is exactly how massages work.
I was gonna say,
he threw
whoever
his-
makes
threw a
those
disc.
noises during a back massage,
Yeah, no kidding.
even if they're slipping a disc back in, they're not gonna. I know they did why they did it because they want Tango, who's coming in the door, to think that they're having sex on the couch.
Yeah.
How do they hear him come through the door?
I mean, in the script, that's what they wanted to think. So they directed her like she went a little bit past what could be passable as I'm still giving a massage,
Right.
and went full
Yeah.
into this. These are sex noises.
Yeah.
As Terry Hatcher's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
harder. Yeah.
She went
Yeah,
back
you hear
into
Kurt Russell
happy
doing
ending
it.
mode.
She did though, yeah. That was the thing. Like then she does this thing, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stallone runs into.
No reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Grabs a duck.
Well, you see a shadowy figure, and at this point, well, even before, Cash thinks this is his girlfriend, right?
Right.
Tango's girlfriend.
Yep.
Yes.
And he's like, she's saying things like, "Oh, he's not around that much." He's like, "Oh, that's kind of insensitive." Like he's trying to riz her up, but also kind of try to be respectful to his friend. And there's a shadowy figure in the doorway, and so Tango leaps over them on the couch, grabs a duck, a wooden duck,
Grabs the wooden duck.
crashes through the screen, and grabs his captain, which he
Dude.
doesn't realize.
Perfectly.
Underdog one-liner too.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he smashes him down, he's like, "Do you screen all your guests like
Yeah.
this?"
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Do you screen all your guests like this? The funny thing about that scene is when he lands, the door is shattered in a million pieces.
Yeah.
The screen is all ripped up. A 1 second cut to his face, back to the door being totally intact.
Totally intact. Yes.
I'm like, you still could have done the pun with a shattered door, right?
Screen all your guests.
You didn't have to have the door in one piece to do the joke.
Right.
It ends up just looking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it put itself back together. It turns out it's the captain. He's there to basically tell them you've got 24 hours to clear your names. I can keep them off your back for that long, but the feds are on the case, you know? So I suggest you slip into something a little more butch. You get rid of Daffy Duck there and clear your names. Meanwhile, Cash comes out trying to explain himself. You know, I was just in there with your girlfriend. He's like, my sister.
Well, what?
Oh, that's great.
Yes. yes. Yes.
My sister. No, Catherine, this is my roof, my house, and I let you dwell here.
Yeah, so he pulls his sister aside. He's like, what were you doing on the couch with Queen for a day? And she won't give him the release needed that they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
She keeps him in the dark, right? She's like,
Yeah.
none of your business, all that stuff.
Yep.
Here's my thing. He already said, I've got the tape from Skinner. So what the hell else do they need to clear their names? They've already got the tape
Yeah.
proving that it wasn't
Got
them.
the tape.
Yeah.
So it should be game over. So we'll just hand that to your chief.
No, it's not game over. This is an 80s action.
Well, you can still go take revenge, but why the aspect of you need to clear your names?
Right. I
It
got
should
the
be like,
evidence right here.
Here's the evidence. All right, cool. Now let's go get the bad guys.
Are you
Yeah.
saying that there's another problem with the screenplay?
A slight one. I mean, it's a minor quibble,
Yes.
but we didn't need that aspect of it, I guess, is all.
No.
Could have just been Revenge Tour 1989 after the fact. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
There was a different writer that day.
Anyway, he randomly just has Rakeen's apartment address. He's like, hey, we got the address of the bad guy for you. Why don't you go check him out? The guy,
Yeah.
the ponytail guy.
He likes to put his chairs on top of his table.
What the hell was with that? Cash has to he has to unlock and lockpick the door. He walks in the background, there's just a chair on top of a table.
Sitting on top of a table.
What?
I saw that too.
Hey, they forgot to take the chair down at bar open, I guess, where they filmed it.
It's like the screenwriter was like, I don't know, British people put chairs on tables. I've never been to the UK. Just
What it was.
decorate it like a weirdo lives there or whatever. I'm like, no, British people also just put their chairs on the
They
ground
sit in chairs normal like Americans.
like Americans do.
Damn
Sure.
Americans.
Come on now.
Why is there a watermelon on it?
How about why does Cash have to pick the lock to get in, but Tango's already in the apartment?
You know what?
It's a good question.
Don't Don't think too much.
Because as Cash is searching around, Ponytail gets the drop on Cash, disarms him, but then Tango's behind Ponytail. Shame, shame. Don't you know Ponytails are out this season?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's a party on the roof. Can we bring Mr. Potato Head?
Sure. Wouldn't be a party without Potato Head.
This next scene
Yes.
is the best scene in the entire movie. Plan A, they're dangling him
Yeah.
off the side of a building.
Cut to them dangling him upside down off
Right.
the side of this apartment building.
Yeah. Plan A, here we go.
Yep.
Tell me what you know. Bollocks to Plan A. I like this.
Yes.
What do you say? Plan A's a loser. You're gonna go back to banging.
That's right. He's shaking him. Oh, you ain't worth a toss. Go on, drop me.
Anything? Plan A's a loser.
Yeah.
You got Plan B?
Hiroshima, ring a bell.
This is Plan
This
B.
is it. Yes.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Not now. I'm busy.
Yeah, so to let people know what's happening, smash cuts, brilliant editing, because they're going from talking about Plan B to him, the sound of the tape being drawn over Rakeen's face, and they're taping a hand grenade to his lips,
In his mouth.
right underneath, like a pig with an apple.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And Kurt Russell is so, this is Plan B. Can I talk to you for a second? Right? And just pulls him over, and Tango is just acting crazy. And Russell, remember, he goes, just shoot him in the leg, he'll talk.
Yeah, sure. I don't want the leg. I want the whole package.
Well, maybe he doesn't know anything.
I don't really care.
Yep.
Blowing a guy's head off with an effing hand grenade. It talks much.
Come on, you're a cop.
I was a cop because a dirtbag and his friends were on the run.
You don't want
That
to
was
sticky.
Spot on.
Get back.
This is great.
Jack.
Dun, 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 dun. You got it,
You
sicko.
psycho.
You're on your own, Rakeem. This man's lost control and I can't stop him.
Don't forget to write.
You want my vote for the Psycho Hall of Fame, asshole? You got it.
And they're going back and forth, and they're having this argument and played, I think, very realistically.
No, that's the thing. Like,
Yes.
this is one of those acting moments.
Yeah.
Where, as audience, obviously, we're looking at this like, oh yeah, they're obviously doing good cop, bad cop.
Right.
But the way they play it in that like dual layer of
Because they got to make
Yes.
him think he's really gonna kill him. Right.
yes.
And so Cash has to sell that this guy's lost.
You know what they nail in this particular scene? They nail the dude playing the dude disguised as another
Yes.
dude. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Oh man, I heard about you.
Yep.
Did you?
Yeah, I heard you were Section 8, man, but you're for real. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't want to believe it. Man.
No, this is
You got it, sicko.
Bye-bye, baby.
After he said, "Well, hold on," but my favorite line in the whole scene, and he goes, "You want you want the vote for the Psycho Hall of Fame? You got it." And it cuts back to Stallone. You really do look like shit in a ponytail. Right before he's about to pull
the pin.
and the guy, if Russell's already walking away, bye, baby.
Yeah.
Bye. Finally rips the grenade off. It's Perrette. That's who you want. That's the governor.
Where is he now? Where's the governor?
He tells him exactly where it is. He's like, you just fell for the oldest trick in the book. Bad cop,
Worst cop.
worst cop.
yep.
Go to high five.
Did you sleep with my sister?
Oh gosh, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
Did you bump uglies with my
But
sister?
I was so drunk. Honestly, I don't even remember. Come on, worst cop. We're late. It's so good. It's so good. It's the best. I don't know. The guy that wrote it didn't, like I said, we went on to do Metro, and I don't know if this is something written on the day. Stallone used to rewrite a lot of his stuff on the fly.
yeah.
I don't even know who to give credit to for some of the dialogue and some of these scenes.
We'll just give it credit to Stallone and Community.
The whole movie doesn't rise to this level, but there's 3 or 4 scenes that are at like Lethal Weapon level writing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dialogue wise.
Like this rooftop scene all in
Yeah.
is a huge high point.
Yes.
It's like the movie spikes right here.
Right here.
And it's like, whoa, that was great.
Right.
Yeah.
If we could have threaded that needle through the whole thing, you'd have an all-time classic. I mean, I love the movie, but it's like would have been
I get what
a
everybody's
whole
saying.
other.
If this caliber scene was the rest of the movie,
Yeah.
it would have had sequels.
yes.
It would have been a franchise.
Yeah.
It would have been on par with Die Hard, would have been on par with Lethal Weapon.
It seemed like something Shane Black wrote. This scene,
He very well could have.
that kind
You
of
never know.
banter, right?
Like he was there for a day.
Yeah.
Completely
I mean, I
unknown.
don't know.
Just hanging with Kurt and Sly.
Hey, can you write something quick
Hey,
for
try
us?
this real quick, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got anything you
great stuff.
haven't used?
And then, absolutely,
right?
and then absolutely crushed by Stallone playing a scene in a way that he doesn't normally play.
Right.
Scenes,
Yes.
like this
Right.
crazy goofy guy. Cash, Kurt Russell killing his part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole thing. You think he's telling the truth?
I don't know, but it's not raining, and he's standing in a puddle.
Disgusting.
It's high science, man.
That's just pretty much where the movie just ends.
Well, because at this point, it takes a fall off of a cliff.
Didn't he before they walk away though, didn't he pull the pin and drop it down
Yes.
his pants?
My contribution to birth control.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's right.
Drop
We
it
all
on his-
wanted to say
See,
that.
yes.
That-
The date to our daughter's date.
Yes.
God, I can't wait to use that line. My
Yes.
contribution to birth control.
It's a bloody dud.
bloody dud.
But that's just like how some of the one-liners, like we
Yeah.
were saying, some
Yeah.
of them are just so far, and like this is
Yes.
like the perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
This one just lands perfectly.
That's what I'm saying. You look like shit in a ponytail is in the same movie as you need some more iron in your diet. And
Right.
one is awesome.
Right.
And one is stupid.
Yeah.
But not even like a good stupid, like in Mr. Like, what killed the dinosaurs? Like that's a stupid one liner but it was so stupid it was awesome.
Right.
Yes.
And it's Schwarzenegger.
Doesn't even get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
This is where the movie takes a nosedive. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it's just
It goes off.
Yeah.
plausibility.
it goes off, yeah.
It goes back to the lab, the LAPD, and they have this RV from hell that Owen is just like, oh, by the way.
It's a Chevy pickup truck with a giant
It is. Yeah.
mounted
A Chevy
pickup
pretty much
truck.
is. It's
That
a
just has a
dually.
bunch of stuff welded
Yeah.
to
They
it.
mounted a back cab to it, and then they mounted something, I don't know what.
Like a dome windshield.
a dome
Yeah.
windshield to the front of it.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, you can literally
It's
see.
a 3500 dually diesel.
Right.
Yeah.
And they put a minigun on the side of it.
Yep.
Right. This thing will go through a brick wall.
I used to love this action sequence, and then I watched it today
Yeah.
twice, and I go, this is one of the worst mobile action sequences I've ever watched.
But before we get to that, just a quick shout out because
sorry.
but he's soon going to leave the movie. I love Michael J. Pollard, little character actor, guy that plays Owen. I always
Yeah.
remember
Yes.
Scrooge.
Yeah.
He's been on tons of stuff. Actually, the reason that Michael J. Fox took his stage name, put the J in, because there was another Michael Fox as a tribute to Michael J. Pollard, one of his favorite character actors, and it was this guy.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Nice.
So I loved him in the few scenes he was in.
I thought he did a great job.
he
in
was
the few
awesome.
scenes he was in.
Stuff.
Yeah.
He's got his big magnifying glass. Like, trust us, Owen. We won't put a scratch on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Is Owen family?
Maybe.
Is this the same guy that invented your exploding bazooka boots?
Hey, he has milliseconds of genius. I grant you. Yeah, and they got this pickup truck. They added all the stuff to. They were like, we're in business. We're not going to put a scratch on it. They take it out to the airfield in the desert, which the guy, with the Hiroshima Plan B told them where to go look. And they're on the ridge, and they got the binoculars, and they're like, looks quiet. What the hell is the plan here exactly, guys? We're just going to crash through the gate and drive around and shoot everybody.
Shoot
Shoot
with
at
our
nothing.
minigun. Shoot with our pop-up guns in the front.
It was like a scene from Megaforce.
No, that's what it was. It was literally, and I'm not knocking the film.
No.
I'm going to knock the film. This was really poorly put together.
Yeah.
Nobody shot.
No one,
Nothing blows
they're
up.
just hanging out. Stallone's just hanging out, just shooting, and
Right.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
at one
It's
point
somehow-
there's another truck that goes off of a jump.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why?
Right.
No reason.
Like you
And
said.
then rolls over, lands on its shed, and then blows up, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who hit
It's
that?
very confusing.
A couple of great shots, like when they're going like, I'm going to go for it, and they floor it up this, and they got the explosion behind them, and they're half in an explosion. Visually looked fantastic.
visually looked
but
yeah,
what
cool.
the hell does all of it mean in this scene?
They
Exactly?
should have just cut all that garbage out, drove through the front fence, right through the front
Yeah.
door, and then just started offering
Right.
guards in the building.
Right. Yeah.
That'd have been.
They could have done a lot of different things.
all
Right.
kinds of different
Yes.
things. They're like,
But if they're
well,
in-
we're in some kind of damn pit or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
let's go
they
to
were
a
like in a
gravel pit.
maze and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's, I'm telling you, he's toying with us, and they're just driving around. They set up all this firepower this thing has. It doesn't destroy a single
It
vehicle
doesn't do
that I
anything.
could.
No.
Yeah.
Or
No.
tell.
I
They
watched
don't
it
do
twice
anything
because
with
I
it.
was very like,
Yeah.
it was very choppy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even watch it when you're 10 or 12. You're like, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. They
Right.
crash through the front gate. Subtle, real subtle.
Yeah,
Like,
their banter's fine.
Yeah.
It's just their execution, their camera work,
Yeah.
everything they planned was
Yeah.
just
I always like the line. It was like,
Bonkers.
I've got good news and bad news.
the good,
We're almost out of gas.
the bad.
We're almost out of gas. Yeah, it's good stuff. But ultimately, there's these gigantic construction vehicles. I don't even know what the hell
they
those
were
things
graders.
are. Graders? Is that what those are?
Oh yeah, the graders.
Because I didn't know. I was just like, construction machines. I didn't have a clue.
They got spawned in.
They spawned in. That's about
the
it.
graders spawn in next to
Best
them.
graders in all of Skyrim.
And they start they just start to crush this Chevy pickup truck between the two of them. They jump out the hatches,
That it
kill the
was
guys.
Supposed to be able to go through a brick wall, but
Right.
apparently graders, those will crush it like a tin can.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
They get crushed by some huge friggin' graders.
Wow. There was
Sorry,
a good
I'll
one.
call back to
I liked it.
They take over the graders that they know how to drive.
Usually
Okay.
you have to get trained on that kind of equipment.
Yeah, you do.
We talk about
Usually.
this all the time. Are they certified to drive a grader?
Oh,
I don't think they're
I'm
licensed.
not certified to drive a
I'm not
grader.
certified for that.
They hop on this thing like they're driving a Buick.
Yeah.
I got trained on a forklift at Menards, and I still killed the whole pretzel pallet.
I wish there was video of that.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
Too bad it wasn't two graders and Bob on a forklift chasing after the RV.
But great.
He starts to lift up the rear of the truck. This thing, but then ends up just going in a circle because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I would kill for that. They don't even bother shooting you. They're just like, whatever.
He's handicapped.
Taking
Leave him
off. They crash the graders.
Andy, who's this guy? He's handicapped.
They crash the graders into the building where there's all these guns just laid out on tables as far as you can
It's
see everywhere.
marine shipments to the Marines
all
or
their
something
arms
on the
and stuff.
boxes. Yeah.
They crash through. They drive over all these. I'm like, thank God they didn't run over a box of grenades or something.
Yeah, no
because
kidding.
they're just crushing all this stuff and end up colliding with each other. They get out. They keep now they're smoking guys and actually killing dudes and stuff.
Right. This is where the movie gets randomly really bloody.
And Stallone, because of his, I'm going to say his Rambo training, he is very good at how to hold and shoot guns. And there's one point where he's got like an Uzi or something, and he just jumps off the top of this grader, holding it basically at his hip, but like kind of sideways, just with this
Yeah, he's
huge muzzle spray.
Spraying everywhere.
And it just looks cool
Yeah.
because he knows how to freaking hold it and not look like he's blinking 1,000 times
Right,
and, you know, not looking. It's stupid the way he's firing it, but he still looks
he's
cool.
not going to hit anything the way he's firing it, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's,
It's what you expect in an action
Exactly.
movie. Just get out, look cool, jump off the grader, grab your
Right.
Uzi, just start spraying dudes.
that's exactly what we
That's all we
want.
needed.
Right.
Exactly.
2 squibs didn't go off. One guy got all the squibs. He gave all the squibs to that one guy. You're just seeing blood just shoot out of 2 other guys.
Cash saves his life because there was a dude behind him.
Yeah.
Calls themselves even. And then this dumbass bad guy, Perrette, starts a self-destruct sequence while they're all still in the building.
Why
I'll never understand this.
does a construction factory have an internal self-destruct mechanism?
It's a great
ask.
question.
To get rid of the
Don't
elements.
ask.
They just
Because it was written to be a Bond movie.
Hey, that's what they got offered by
Yes.
American Family Insurance. Right?
we'll throw in this self-destruct mechanism.
Yeah, hey,
Gosh.
you know what?
For free.
We've got the self-destruct discount. You put that in, $500 off annually off your
Saves
insurance.
you on your
Saves you.
insurance
Saves you on
deductible.
your
Saves you on your
Yes.
deductible.
Yes.
Because if you self-destruct, they don't have to pay for it.
Right.
So they have it there to save themselves.
They don't got to pay for the demo.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. We've fixed the whole movie here.
Thank God.
And then your house, your building doesn't blow up. We just have fireballs shoot around your building. Sell the illusion.
Yes.
Look, one of
we didn't even get to that.
also
yet.
they randomly have captured Catherine somehow. Sly's sister.
Yeah.
is there.
Now she's
And
abducted.
Rakeen tells them where they're going.
Right
And he's like,
there.
there.
Yes, he was tied to a pole last time we saw him.
Yeah.
He's there.
Somehow we got off the pole.
Here's a line of dialogue I had a real big problem with, and it's because I'm a football nerd. But he goes, "We got 11 minutes, and that looks like it's counting backwards." That's all right. We could score 3 touchdowns in 11 minutes. Yeah, but they have 3 timeouts.
Was this a
Doesn't make
reference
any
to-
damn sense.
No, that didn't make any. I thought
What-
the same thing. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What the hell does that
What he should have
matter?
said is, "We could score 3 touchdowns in 11 minutes." Yeah, but we don't have any timeouts.
Exactly.
right?
Right.
Now the line makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Sure.
Right.
It makes it a little better.
It's still dumb, but at least it would make sense.
You're right. It
The
makes it a
idea is
little
like,
better.
yeah, I got 11 minutes, but we can't stop the clock.
Right.
Right.
If they have 3
That-
timeouts,
yes.
that's
Yes.
good for you when you're up against the clock.
Right.
You freaking idiots.
Maybe a
Sorry.
soccer fan wrote that line.
Soccer fan wrote it.
It's a football. Yeah, it's a
You know-
football reference.
You know, I always thought it was a terrible line. I always thought that part of the movie was terrible. But now you've really just highlighted it. Oh,
perfect.
Because I never thought of it that way.
Well,
and
just wait for what's
Yes.
coming next.
Yes.
Like,
Well, they get up in the office and they're attacked by Lopez and Quan. Okay. And James Hong is going to fire through a door.
A glass
A glass door.
Glass door.
At Stallone. He gets shot by Stallone immediately.
yes.
I was hoping for a reunion of Lopan and Jack Burton here, but
Yeah.
unfortunately we didn't get the Kurt Russell.
No, we did
that would
not.
have been
James
awesome
Hong
if it
face
did.
off.
That would have been
Yeah.
something.
Missed
been awesome.
opportunity. But an even more obvious not James Hong stuntman in this death is he fully turns back to camera going, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
not
It's
not
even
James Hong.
close.
Not even a little bit.
Even a
No.
little bit.
Lopez did not want to stay down.
Lopez, Gabe Cash takes out Lopez by blind firing through the drywall of the
As soon
stairwell.
as shoot this drywall, getting dust thrown in my eyes. Damn it.
But
Hold
you're
on.
right.
Ah!
Put the work goggles on. Those guns they picked up were ridiculous too.
Dude, there were the
Yeah.
guns in Die Hard, the Die Hard video game.
They were the size of them.
Like the Fallout guns.
Yes.
Just-
Yes.
This is humongous.
These completely
Guns.
fictional guns.
Right.
What is with that,
That-
giant
yes.
thing? The handle?
I think
They
it's
put
a
in your
carrying case.
It's a carry case where you go on the airport.
Yeah.
They
That's
actually pulled the
exactly
trigger while it was in the case and was shooting through the case. They should have taken the gun out of the case.
Oh, so it's a
And
gun.
it's a gun in a gun, is what
Gun
it is.
case.
It's a gun
A
case.
gun within a gun.
All right. Anyway, they they follow those guys. They get upstairs after they smoke. Gabe takes a shot because Lopez isn't down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He takes one
Gabe,
through the arm.
Gabe gets winged.
Clean exit. They get into the room, and again, is there a freaking camera guy over there with Rakeen and Terry Hatcher? Because they come up on the monitor like this, and I'm like, what kind of what a crap ass job that would be. Shoot me from over here. The good guys are coming.
This is my good side. Like he's telling the Sears photo guy, this is my good side. Just
Hey,
Yeah,
cameramen in LA are desperate.
it's true.
All right.
this
It
was
was
their
like-
one shot.
It was their one shot.
Rakeen's got the knife, the razor blade, the Sweeney Todd
Yeah,
style
that
razor blade.
Dull ass
Yeah,
shaving blade.
up to his sister's throat, right? And he goes, "My friend here, some random karate guy we haven't seen the entire movie."
Yeah, where'd this guy come
Okay.
from?
He's really looking forward to kicking your ass.
That's right. I'd like to pleasure your sister, slow and easy, but I've only got a few minutes to carve you up. And I thought it makes the blade noise. I thought he cut her throat.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Throws her to the side.
Once again, very confusing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Throws her to the side, and then we get Sly versus Karate Guy. We've not seen the entire movie, so not like a lot of stakes in that fight because you're introducing random bad guy at the end here.
Right.
And then you get Rakeen, who you want to see fight these
Yeah.
guys, against Kurt Russell. And the fight with Sly and Karate Guy I thought was okay. The best shot being a great throat chop by Stallone after
Yeah.
the guy karate chops the rat maze.
Yes.
And Stallone just brings it back and fully just
Yeah.
chops him in the throat. Like, hell yeah.
throat chop.
That
You
was
can
a
hear it. You can feel it.
10-star
You
throat
can
chop.
feel it.
10-star throat chop. One of
Yeah.
the coolest bad guy deaths is the grenade in the pants and the headbutt down the
Oh,
stairs.
because
Yeah.
they're actually
think
having
it's-
a more like visceral fight. between
Yeah,
the two of
classic
them.
brawl fight.
like a Die Hard kind of like
Yes.
John McClane
Yep.
kind of fight, and he finally catches him, and he's got all of a sudden Cash has
Think
a
it's a
grenade.
dud? Did he flicks him off?
Yeah,
Did he
you
pop
think
it?
it's a dud? You forgot about playing C, asshole. Stuffs it down his pants, kicks him down the stairs.
Yep.
That's great.
That's great.
Foobar. Big time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Foobar.
Yeah, Foobar.
Right,
Big
right,
time.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the movie I learned what Foobar meant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
My wife doesn't know what's foobar mean. I go,
Oh.
effed up beyond all recognition.
That's right. They used it in Saving Private Ryan after this.
Yep.
They've used it. There's a whole scene or series that Arnold's in named Foobar, and it's been used in countless other things before. But Tango and Cash was always when I learned what Foobar was. I don't know if that's where it came from. Probably it was a military term before that,
Vietnam thing.
maybe a Vietnam thing. But
Yeah, maybe.
this is where I learned
Or
it
World War
from.
II thing, since
Yeah.
it's in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, who
Who knows?
If it's
Can someone tell us?
yeah.
Maybe
where
we'll
did
get a
that
patron.
originate?
We'll
from?
get an email to tell us the history of FUBAR.
That'd be great.
Yes.
And Brian James's face and the callback to Plan C
Yes.
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Right.
When he's covered in sweat, looks down, realizes what's going to happen. Down the stairs he goes. Fantastic. Now the doors open because Stallone took out Karate Guy, put him through a glass table, dead. The doors open where the monitors were to reveal a hall of mirrors.
Oh my god.
That he had installed at great expense. I wouldn't guess.
Well, that was another discount on the
I
insurance.
was gonna say.
$100 off your deductible for the Hall of Mirrors.
So who's the contractor? That's what I want to know. Like, it's the guys in here and they're building the. So I need a hall of. Don't ask questions.
I need a revolving door that reveals a hall of mirrors
Yes,
right here.
right here.
Why?
I also need an internal self-destruct mechanism, and I need 21 TVs on that wall.
And don't ask any
Don't ask
questions.
any questions
Don't
because it's a construction logistics business.
No man grunt's just a tip.
And we do mining on the side outside of our construction business here.
We also have a quarry.
All right. So mind your business.
We mine our own granite for the countertops that we install here.
Right. We make a lot of money doing it. So build my damn hall of mirrors and shut up.
I'm also going to need a custom rat maze table
Yes.
over here.
Oh, good point. We do
right.
need that. Yes. That's another $50 off your deductible
right.
to keep the rats exercised and contained in the rat maze table.
I love that they walk up and Perette's got her. You know, he scooped her up, I guess, after she got thrown to the side.
I was going
by
to say,
Ricky.
now
Yeah.
here she is taken hostage again.
Hit a nut shot. Terry Hatcher, do something.
Something.
Yeah.
Something.
She's standing there. He's got the gun there, and there's all these different versions of him because of the mirrors, and you don't know which one is the real one. And I love the fact that he launches into bad guy monologue, and the movie doesn't even deem it worthy enough to be heard by anybody because they totally ignore the whole speech.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, I have
Yeah.
no idea what he says.
You can hear him continue to
You
talk.
can see him, he's talking and all that, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it just focuses in on their dialogue where he's like, we just got to figure out which one he is in the mirror. I know. So do I. Right?
Great. Now all we need is a gun.
Got it.
Me too.
All right. Kneecaps on 3.
Kneecaps on 3.
Call it.
Call it.
1, 2, and they both go on 2.
Yes.
Because they think the other one's going to go on 2.
Yeah.
Right? And they want to get the shot.
Yep.
Exactly.
You get the bazooka boot shot, and you get the gunshot from Tango, and both double headshots
Double
right next to
headshot.
each other.
Jack Palance drops.
And he goes, my sights are off
Mine too.
because they called kneecaps.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And they walk over, and now they're, your sister okay? Yeah, she's coming too. Hey, how'd you know which one he was? The monogram, right? Is reversed in the mirror. No, the ring was on the wrong hand in the mirror. They're going, are we clever or what? And they're having this whole conversation while the clock is ticking,
Still ticking.
down.
Yep.
And this guy's not since Time Cop and then making it out of the house in 4 seconds when remember that whole thing?
yeah.
Running in
Yeah.
slow motion. They had like 9 seconds to get out. They get all the way into the front lawn. As they're leaving this room, they're upstairs. As they're running out of this room, he goes, 20 seconds, Cash.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're 200 yards away from the building when it goes off.
From where they
Yep.
land.
From where they
Yes.
land.
They're like on the outside perimeter of it all.
20 seconds. If they can get that far, imagine how they might have gotten back to the police station if they hadn't spent 30 seconds talking about how clever they were.
They could have been back to the police station by then.
Okay. Then they would have had 40 seconds and they could have gotten all the
could
way
have gotten
back
all the way there.
to Owen's shop with her. And then they'd hear the thing go off in the distance. That was the most. Just say there's a minute left or something.
Right. Make it plausible.
20 seconds. They're still upstairs.
Just don't even do ticking clocks. This is why we don't do ticking clocks in movies anymore.
Just jump out the window.
Or just something. Have it. You can have. There's your cool moment as they jump out the window. Explosion behind them. You know they love to do that with Stallone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But no, they've got them 20 seconds. Cut to the next shot of them
Running through
outside, and there's still 9 seconds left
Yeah.
to go.
Yes.
Oh, and they're still at a safe distance. It's awesome.
And behind like a
bunker.
sand bunker. Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
And then we're treated to one of the worst movie explosions of all time.
Oh, it's bad.
Flames shoot out of the ground.
Half of a chain link rating for that.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. This whole thing that's supposed to internally self-destruct just has like some pyrotechnics in the front of the building.
Yeah,
pretty
like,
bad when-
and Michael Jackson's out front, like in a Pepsi commercial.
Right.
Just-
No, guys, it was the stewardess from Passenger 57 that was out there.
Yes, I forgot.
Oh yeah.
It's easy to mistake the two, but it was the passenger
it's
from.
very it's
What
very
a-
easy mistake to make.
Poor Bongo the clown. Hey, Bongo is probably set on fire walking past this building.
All right, back to Tango Cash.
We get the classic high five to end the movie, right? After he says,
They did the high five, but they didn't.
Slow motion.
Yeah,
motion.
but they didn't do it like Predator high five with
No,
Carl Weathers,
no.
and they're like, we don't have enough bicep in here to do that. Let's just do the high five.
Yeah,
and-
which dissolves into the newspaper high five of the
Yep.
two of them, like celebrating they're back on the force.
Yep.
And he's like, I've earned the right to at least date your sister, right? And all that. Over my dead body. Deal.
Yeah.
Deal.
That's the end of Tango and Cash, you guys.
I gotta pee.
Go do it. Man, oh man, what a trip. What a journey.
Quite the journey.
Quite the journey. And now we get to do something that I have looked forward to doing for a while. How can we get Arnie?
Oh man.
Would Arnold Schwarzenegger make Tango and Cash better?
Yes.
Well, that's a tough thing because, like, would you want to see him as Gabriel Cash?
Well, that was my first thought. Is not because look, Kurt Russell is one of my top 5 actors.
Yes.
I love him.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
But what you want is the Stallone Arnie team up, which we got in the Expendables. But you want the '80s Stallone,
Right.
Arnie.
Want them in their prime.
Well, and then we didn't even get the Stallone, like the real Stallone Arnie team up is Escape Plan,
right?
which was more or less a nothing movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. And then, but even they're past their primes, I'd say at that point.
That was
right?
2013.
Yeah.
So that was even past kind of Expendables 2.
Right.
But when you, like, the true first time they teamed up was Escape Plan.
No, that's
So
true.
yeah, to have them in their prime, this is the only way.
Right. So you want to make him Cash.
You got to make him Cash. But it's very unfortunate because Kurt Russell carries
Yeah.
he carries this movie for me.
This is Plan B. Can I talk to you for a second? I heard about you. I heard you were Section 8, but I didn't believe it. Did you for real? Listen, he's out of control, okay, and I can't stop him. You messed up big time. You want my vote for the Psycho Hall of Fame, asshole? You got it.
There you go.
Oh yes.
What if you had him as Ponytail?
Raqueen.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't be. He can't do Cockney accent, so it would just have to be in Austrian.
Can you do just
Right.
hey Arnold, we want you for this part, right?
That's right.
Show me your best British accent. Let's hear it.
Here you go. Okay, here we go. I'd like to pleasure your sister slow and easy.
All right, you're hired.
Arnie, perfect. Can you sound more British?
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, wait.
Bollocks to Plan A.
Yeah, got it.
You're
Nailed it.
not worth a toss. Plan A. I like it up here. Go ahead, drop me. Do it.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Oh man.
Here I am. Kill me. I'm here. Yeah.
You know what? Arnie is Tango and
Yeah.
Stallone is Cash.
Make Stallone the blue collar guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Arnie the stockbroker, I could buy.
Arnie's a
yeah,
stockbroker,
sure. Yeah.
exactly. Decked out in the suit,
Yes,
the hair
definitely.
slicked back.
He's the
Definitely.
governor.
Uh-huh.
Oh, not yet at this point, but that would have been good.
Yeah.
He could have imagine Arnie as Tango, because then you get him going, Rambo is a pussy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With yes.
And that
Yes.
line's that
full
much
knowing
funnier.
that then Stallone is playing
Is
Cash.
playing Cash.
Yes.
So we swap Stallone to Cash and have Arnie play Tango,
Okay.
because you want to have that team up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would want to have that team up. But what about Kurt?
That
Well-
we were saying it was a very sad side effect.
Yes,
to
because Kurt
recast Arnie.
carries the movie.
Yes.
But if you're going to put Arnie in there, you want that Arnie Sly team up, right?
I mean, we're
No disrespect to Kurt Russell.
I would just make Kurt Russell Perrette.
Perrette.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
You
and
could
then-
do that too.
And
Yeah.
then you put Kurt Russell as Perrette.
Aaron Nowak wrote in, he goes, replace Jack Palance with Arnold. I'm pretty sure someone else has already suggested this. Well, you're wrong, Aaron. Nobody has suggested this yet. So, in your face. Right, Tango has cost me so much money. And Cash and Tango and Tango and Cash.
You know what? It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm sold now.
How many millions? How many millions, Cash? And over here on this side of the city, the tango has cost me even more.
Bring me my mice. It's time to sniff my
I need to
mice
smell
now.
them. I need to smell them now.
I need to smell them. They smell beautiful. This is fantastic. Would you lather them with oil?
Quick and easy is the way that you oil my body. It is not the way you run the multi-million-dollar corporation.
Oh, yes.
He drives past the crime scene. Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger? Billy Malden writes in, he goes, easy to pick Stallone or Kurt, but would love Arnold as either Kiki or as Ponytail, which we already said, but
Yeah.
he'd play the drums better, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
100%.
Stallone in a bra busting out the best drum solo of all time. That's right. Listen to me. I'm Catherine. Get your hands off my property. It's good stuff. Then we got Mark Gusick. The goose is loose.
Nice.
Back again. He has 3 options for us for Arnold here.
All right, here we go.
Replace Kurt Russell with Arnold and get
Yep.
the end-all, be-all $1 billion grossing movie. That's the aspect we didn't talk about. That movie would have made all of the money.
Man.
Yeah, there would have been no money left to print.
No,
No,
that would have
they would have had to print more money just so people could go and see this movie.
have him replace Weird Chin Guy. He didn't want to look up his name on IMDb and give him more to do. You could give him more to do, or you could just be like, bring him to me.
Yeah, right.
That's right. On the street, this pig and his cop friend broke my leg and my rib and my jaw. Be
You
perfect.
broke those ribs?
Yep, exactly.
Oh my gosh. And then number 3, replace Slinky with Arnold. And instead of them cutting it to him being wrapped up in a Slinky, it's Stallone wrapped up in a Slinky.
That's good.
This is my fiance Tango. Up Tango. And he can't go help him with the breakout until he gets permission
Yeah,
from
right.
Arnie's
Yeah.
character in order to do it, right? That makes
That would have been
perfect,
good. Yeah, that'd be good.
perfect
Yeah,
sense.
Goose on it. Love it, Goose.
Good stuff. Well, I think it's got to stay Stallone and Kurt Russell, but it's fun to dream about what it would have been. But I think Arnold makes the movie better for sure. And that's no slight at Kurt at all.
No, no, not
But
at
it's
all.
just at the different heights they were at this point in their career.
Right.
All right, it's time to start giving some awards, and we're going to start with the award we give out to the person who was just the most in it, the most dialed into their character, giving it 110%, bringing that intensity like Will Patton does. It's the Will Patton Award for intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans. What are you doing with a gun in space?
All right.
What are you doing with a gun in your boot?
You know what?
That's a good question.
Oh, I needed Will Patton as one of the Chiefs. That would have been
Oh, that would have been awesome.
tackle Will
If
Patton
only.
through a screen door.
Yeah, right.
All right, Farrell, who you got as your nominee for the Will Patton Award?
Look, for intensity,
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Really?
Like I said, for me, he carries the movie. I love Kurt Russell. I've loved everything he's done. Like you did it in the scene in the laundry. Like, I don't want to be killed by that limey jerk off. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just everything, or the good cop, bad cop, or bad cop, worst cop stuff. Like, Russell is dialed into his character, 110% for his performance. Kurt Russell.
All right. He didn't mail it in. That's for sure.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Noack says, look, it's Kurt who goes all out and brings the intensity when there is no need for that much in almost every one of his scenes. So that's another vote from Noack for Kurt Russell as we go over to Mueller to see if we're going to veer off here or is it going to continue?
I am at a little bit of a crossroads here on this one because that's a good point. Kurt Russell, he was kind of my, in my mind as far as a pick for this. I also thought like the cop in the beginning that's yelling at Stallone, right? just for frickin' going with it. You know, the hell with it. I'm going to go with the cop in the beginning. I'm going to go off the board here and go with
Larry
him.
White.
Yeah, Larry White.
Yeah, there we go. I love it, man.
California Highway Patrol Trooper number 1.
That's right. That's right. Nathan comes in and says, look, it's got to be Jack Palance. I imagine that man had it dialed to 11 when ordering through the drive-thru at Wendy's. Sir, what would you like? Tango and cash. Cash. Do I have money for Wendy's? They've lost so much money to them.
Took all my Wendy's money.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
A quarter pound. Give me stack. Give me the double stack.
Jeez.
And this is my fault. I missed Nathan's thing with the Arnie thing, but I do want to get in. He did say Zadar, the shovel jaw, which somebody had already said, but he did make a point here that I think is good. It would have been fun watching Arnie in the role because of the Conan jokes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
They already calling him Rambo. They could have, hey, I loved you in Conan the Barbarian, and it would have been perfect.
That'd have been good
Perfect.
too.
So,
Yeah.
that's a vote for Jack Palance. We got the cop, Jack Palance, 2 votes for Kurt Russell, and I'm going off the board with somebody that hasn't been pictured. I'm going with Breon James.
Oh,
for
that's
this.
a good one too.
fair.
That dude.
That's a good one too.
Not only did he give everything he had to this role, he created his own role.
He did.
I was going to say, when
And-
you look at the trivia of it,
Yes.
how it was a 2-line role.
He was in
Right.
it a lot more than he was supposed to be. Yeah, that's good. That's a good
And
pick.
he was intense, I thought. he came across as a legitimate bad guy, more than Palance did.
Yeah.
More than Lopez and Quan. I mean, the bad guy of the movie really is Breon
I was
James.
disappointed with how much they used James Hong in this movie.
Yeah, not enough.
I could
at
have
all.
used more James Hong.
Yeah, he just sat in a chair and had a couple lines pretty much, and that was it.
Did his J.C. Penney photo shoot when he came up
Right.
on 1980s Zoom.
Yeah. Billy Malden comes in and says, has to go to Jack Palance. That's a second vote for him. His typical scenery chewing best, totally believable as a maniacal drug baron with a weird rat fetish, was over the top and totally bonkers, and we wouldn't want it any other way. And Billy, I agree with you there. Absolutely. As we go over to Bob, who's your vote for Will Patton?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell gets a third vote to take a lead over Jack Palance. We still got Mark Gusick here. So I think it might fall down to us to break a tie because he goes Jack Palance as Perrette.
Oh.
Usually anything this man is in, he's intense in it, and this is no exception. His performance was fun and over the top.
I'll
And
go Kurt because that was my second.
That was your second vote?
Yeah, I had Kurt in there, so I'll go Kurt Russell.
I was going to go Kurt anyway, so that's going to break the tie. Sorry to the people that voted Jack Palance, but Kurt Russell is going to win the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
It's a great pick.
Great
He
pick.
really was.
Yeah. Could have acted like this was a throwaway, dumb buddy comedy, but I thought he was.
Yeah, he was dialed in for sure.
The next award we give out is to the worst actor in the movie. And so, of course, we attached Steven Seagal's name to this. Who was the worst actor in Tango and Cash? It's the Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
Imagine if this had been Stallone and Seagal as the team up in Tango and Cash.
I don't think
Sorry.
Stallone would.
Sorry, Tango, your sister's
too old.
for me.
Oh,
Can we get somebody a little younger?
Do you have
here
like a
to
younger
slip
niece
this
or
disc
something?
back in?
All right. Sorry. Ryan Farrell, what's your nomination for the Trash Can?
I don't know who it is, but the Fed guys in their
Oh,
the raid scene and the
Yes.
setup scene.
so not Arquette, or you want to include him?
Is
in
that the one? Is it Arquette?
the guy? Goes, you're
the
going
guy?
down for this. The guy,
That's
the main
Louis Arquette.
Fed.
That's Louis Arquette.
yeah.
Man,
We just put his name on it, even though it's for everybody in that scene.
just all the Feds in that scene.
All right.
That whole scene just upset me.
I appreciate that. Noack said Robert Zadar is 10 times worse in this than he was in Samurai Cop. I wanted him to have a much bigger impact on the movie than his chin has to his face. Yeah, so all right, that's a vote for Zadar. Mueller.
Yeah, my original gut was to go with Zadar. I'm going to stick with that. I think he was not great any stretch of the imagination, and he could have added more, I think, with his character and the few scenes he did have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Zadar.
That's a second vote for Zadar. And then let's see who the next patron we've got up here is Nathan Broderick. And he goes, whoever Stallone was talking to on the CB when he was driving at the beginning, that guy wasn't even trying. Tango, whatever you're going to do it quick. The entire CHP is on the way.
I'm reading from this piece of paper in front of my face right now.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. Look, as much as I loved him, I am going Zadar as well. From just an acting standpoint, the chin can only do so much work.
No, I agree.
And there was so much opportunity for him in his few scenes he did have to step it up, and he just didn't.
Now, there's been people that we've given this award to that were much, much worse than him, but he's unfortunately in a movie where people were doing pretty good for the most part. Yeah. And so that helps him stand out in not a good way a little bit more. Billy Malden says, Kiki as the stripper with a heart of gold, who is the sister of a rich cop, just completely unbelievable throughout. I mean, hot as hell, but could have been a stripping trash can. So that's a vote for Terry Hatcher.
That's unfortunate.
Coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, and so we got 3 votes for Zadar, I think, is still leading the way.
Leading the way.
So, Bob, who you got as your trash can?
Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher!
Yeah.
Wow. Is it the drums? It was the drums.
It was the drums.
Don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
Wait a minute. That's what did it? The drums?
Exactly.
That one thing
learn the choreography.
is what did it for you?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. I'm allowed to have those one things, Ryan.
But he's not.
No,
I mean, he
can't.
has so many of them.
I have so many one things. Bob's just got the one thing.
I just got one thing. I go,
Mark Gussick. I
Okay.
can't believe you did this.
Uh-oh.
He says Stallone,
What is the
didn't he?
goose?
It says trash can full of dirt filled with the lies of Steven Seagal. This is what he titled this. Breon James as
Wow.
I've heard, because I've heard some bad English accents in my time, and this is the worst one to date. It's not worse than Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. That was awful. I was good enough that I thought this guy was British when I was a kid until I saw him in another movie. I was like, what the hell?
You sound like you're from London.
That's right. Kevin Costner's English accent was more believable than this guy's.
Hey.
Here we go. Now we got Prince of Thieves in the mix.
Oh, no, don't you dare. I love that
boy.
movie.
No. You know why Robin Hood movies now still suck? Because Prince of Thieves is awesome.
That's right. Nobody's topped it yet.
Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, and
bag.
Russell Crowe's Robin Hood movie. No one cared.
God.
We saw it in theaters.
No one
did.
cared.
Yeah.
No one cared.
I don't know.
I didn't care when we left.
He goes, I wish I got to watch that movie instead of this one. He didn't act well at any point in this movie. Gosh, Mark, I could not disagree harder with you. But
Yeah, buddy.
regardless, it means Robert Zadar is going to win the trash can full of
We'll
dirt.
try and stuff that jaw into the trash
That's right.
can.
Jaw's just hanging out.
Might have to get a dumpster.
The next award we give out is to an actor that maybe didn't have a lot of lines, had a smaller part, but made the movie better with what little they had. It's the Steve James Unsung Hero Award.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass.
Oh, and I know where I'm going with this one.
Then there
I
are
do
those
too.
few who are.
I do too.
Oh, perfect.
I have no idea.
Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
Pick one of these that we're going to say, I guess.
There we go. All right. Farrell, we start with you.
Michael J. Pollard.
Michael J. Pollard.
I
really?
think so. When he
not where I'm going.
pops up, because he has 2 scenes.
Yes.
And the second he pops up as Owen,
Yeah.
with that gigantic monocle on his face,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes, Michael J. Pollard.
Oh, I was happy he was there.
Oh yeah.
Well, 3 scenes if you count him on the TV and the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
raid, but yes.
But his role is so stupid.
Yeah.
And
it really
this
is.
whole mock-up of like LAPD research and development
Yeah.
is so stupid.
Yeah.
All of it is stupid.
Facts.
And then there's Michael J. Pollard.
Yep.
And everything's okay.
Yep.
That's what I said. That's
All
all I
right.
got to say.
Okay.
Fine.
All right.
The first one here from Noack is Clint Howard as Sly's prison bitch, Slinky. I say this because I want more Clint Howard. Just imagine him as being incarcerated for his crimes in The Wraith. That's what I'm saying. Slinky is actually Rughead. Make it canon from The Wraith. I'll take it.
You take it.
Let's
That's
say
a good
it.
pick.
Let's just say it. He
Do it.
hung out with the wrong gang. Nick Cassavetes landed his butt right in jail. So that's why you don't have crappy friends, man. All right, so that's a vote for Clint Howard and a vote for Michael J. Pollard as we go to Mueller.
James Hong.
James
I wanted
Hong.
to see more. I believed him more as the bad guy with a plan than Jack Palance.
He kept trying to give him a better plan.
He tried.
Palance just kept yelling at him, shut up!
Right.
You don't interrupt the pan.
I'm like, dude,
No.
I'm like,
Give me more David Lopan.
James Hong's a better
Especially
bad guy.
across from Kurt Russell. Come on.
If it was 1989 and I had a chance to cast a movie and pick a guy for the villain role, I would cast Hong before I would cast Jack Palance.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's just me.
Yep.
Personally.
Yeah.
So, all right. So good vote. Next one comes in here from Nathan, and he says, Robert Zadar. This guy is freaking awesome, and he has been in some crap stuff, but he's always fun to watch no matter what trash he's in. Yes, so don't think because we gave him the can that we think he's not fun. I have a blast every time that dude comes on the screen.
Yeah, I have a blast with him in this movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Look, my vote's for Larry White. Are you kidding me? You're out of your jurisdiction, city boy. I want your badge. I want your gun.
Yeah.
Who in the frick do you think you are?
That's a good one, too.
That's who I'm going
Do we
with.
have any doubles up yet?
I think we got. Do we have 2 votes for? No, we haven't had a single second vote.
Nope.
Wow.
a lot of great small parts in this movie.
Lots of great small parts, which means it's going to come down to Billy, Mark, and Bob over here. Billy Malden says James Hong because he's just awesome in everything he does. He gives it his all and sells the menacing vibe well. If he's too main of a character, I don't think he is.
No.
And he goes Robert Zadar. No, James Hong was barely
in it. Yeah.
Bob.
I'm gonna have to go with Robert Zadar.
Robert Zadar. Now we got a tie. 2-2, but we don't know what Mark Gusick has said yet.
Oh, I'm sure something stupid.
Wow. Unsung hero for him. We're going to have to break this tie. Now, who else here voted for Zadar? It was just a patron and Bob, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other tie is between Hong, which you voted for.
Me and a
Which
patron.
means me and you are going to have to settle this because he went off the board here. Jeffrey Lewis is Captain Schrader.
Oh.
Fun character.
Yeah.
Did some good parts in this, and I enjoyed his little time on the screen. I mean, this man was so unsung that he's not even listed in the cast on IMDb.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's a
uncredited.
pretty big part.
Yep.
And yeah, Jeffrey Lewis went uncredited on this movie.
That's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah. So that means we got to figure this out. So we have to choose between James Hong and Robert Zadar. And so which one made the movie better?
You have a coin?
And if we're going off of that criteria, I love James Hong, but I feel like he didn't really improve the movie.
If we're
at all.
going off the criteria of who made the movie better,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go with Zadar's
I
chin.
think we have to.
That chin is what ties it all together.
No disrespect at all to Hong. We love the guy. We've given him lots of
Zadar
props.
may have did bad acting, but he showed up.
Oh, for sure. So look at this. I don't know if that's ever happened where somebody won the Can and the Unsung Hero Award in the same movie,
Power of the chin.
showing that a bad performance doesn't necessarily mean it's not fun to watch.
Oh, no. No.
Bad performance amongst good performances, which is very
That's right.
rare in bad movies.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Aaron Noack wants to give out a Thomas Technical Achievement Award. He goes, the design team behind the 88 one-ton Silverado C3 3500 truck.
You're right, Mueller.
He said the Cinema Vehicle Services Group, or even just the whole stunt team that worked on the vehicle raid scene, a masterpiece of modern cinema, the pinnacle of the term mise en scene.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How about that?
Ryan's got friends.
That's all right.
Thank you. Thank you.
The time to give out an award we give out sometimes. It's the Sherilyn Fenn Hot Babe Award. And I think really it comes down to Terry Hatcher and Kurt Russell in drag.
No, there's one more.
Random boob girl in the
Blonde boob.
girl.
Best tan line ever in the moment.
The girl in the car or in the dressing room?
No, in the dressing room.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I thought you were talking about blonde boob girl in the parking garage.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I was thinking that too in the dressing room. I was like,
the dressing
there's the
room.
blonde in there.
Quick straw poll. Go ahead.
No, I go with Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher.
Come on. I love Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher.
No. Kurt
Come
Russell.
on.
I'm going Kurt Russell as well, which means we got a tie. But Mark Gussick gave it to Terry Hatcher. Obviously, who else would win it? Kurt Russell's cross-dressing, definitely not. Terry Hatcher all the way. So just barely, Terry Hatcher
Edging
wins
that one out.
Just barely edged out Kurt Russell in drag.
in the
There you go.
Sherilyn Fenn Hot Babe Award.
Well, what's that say for Terry Hatcher? I don't know.
Come on.
All right, guys, it's time for us to climb BMR Mountain. And we've got a couple of people here who have appeared in multiple movies for us. And we are going to start with Kurt Russell. And Kurt Russell has appeared on this show. And this is what we do is we said, what is the peak that they've reached in their BMR career, right?
Yep.
Which one of these movies was their peak performance? Not which movies were better, because people tend to try and rank the movies. It's about their performance specifically, okay? And so Kurt Russell so far has been in 3,000 Miles to Graceland, Escape from L.A., Big Trouble in Little China, and now Tango and Cash. Man. And so out of those 4, we have to figure out what's so far been peak Kurt Russell on BMR. And I think personally, and this is for me, and you guys can voice your own opinions. I think Big Trouble in Little China is peak Kurt Russell in his career. So
Yeah,
it's easy for me to say that's the peak.
That's number one for me, for sure.
Number one for me.
But from the performance aspect,
Oh, yes. He kills it as Jack
Jack
Burton.
Burton.
Jack Burton. Is,
Having to play something not a lot of people have done. The main character that thinks he's the main character, but is actually the sidekick, and carry the film still as a sidekick and be hilarious, but believable when he finally kills Lopan at the end.
Right.
For me, I think it's not even about the movie. That's
that's number one
performance.
for sure.
So
But do you
you're
think it's
you're-
something else?
You're talking back about that high science working with Mercury. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know one of the characters here is Snake Plissken,
No, but yeah.
but it's
you know
Escape
what?
from L.A. Snake
I'm gonna say
Plissken.
exactly because like Escape from L.A. Snake
Yeah.
Plissken is not Escape from New York Snake Plissken,
Right.
in my opinion.
No,
like
me neither.
As much as I like Escape from L.A., like Escape from L.A. is more entertaining, but no.
So for me, and I want to hear what you guys think, I would go from his performance, Big Trouble, Tango and Cash, 3,000 Miles to Graceland, Escape from L.A. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I think I would agree.
I would agree. Yeah, I was
would
going to
agree.
say I don't.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that.
Okay.
I think that's the kind of the order I had in my mind as you were
Okay.
reading them off. I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Do you have a dissenting opinion, or how would you do it, Bob?
Escape from L.A., Big Trouble, Little China, Tango and Cash, and 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
All right, so you have it all in the same order. You've just pulled Escape from L.A. and put it at the top,
Yes.
essentially. Okay, so you think that's his best performance so far?
in BMI.
I love Snake Plissken.
I know you. I know you
Snake
do.
Plissken.
That's why I was waiting for you to say it was.
No,
Escape
it's
from
fine.
LA.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Jack Burton,
All right.
but I think I watched the Escape movies more than I've watched Big Trouble Little
Yeah.
China.
You did 100%.
Yeah.
You watched that like crazy.
You know what? And
Yeah.
I have too, honestly,
Yeah.
because I mean, I know I'm not the biggest fan of Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, I am.
I know you are. No, I know you are.
Little China's
Yeah.
Yes,
Fire.
It is awesome, but like you said, in that canon of things, like to be honest, I've probably watched 3,000 Miles to Graceland more than Big Trouble in Little China.
Well, it's time to jump off to another actor who actually has more movies on our show that will fit, because only 4 fit on the mountain, like Mount Rushmore here. But
right.
Stallone has appeared in Judge Dredd, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Death Race 2000, Cobra, Demolition Man, and Tango and Cash. So we got to drop 2 movies off the mountain first. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I'm assuming
that for me, that's off.
will be off.
Yeah, that's off.
And
What's
probably
the
Death
other-
Race.
Oh no.
See, but I've never seen Death Race 2000.
It's an early Stallone performance,
is.
and while there's a couple moments I really
is.
like from him, it's probably out of these not going to be on the mountain, I would guess.
Yeah.
So then we're left with Judge Dredd, Cobra, Demolition Man, Tango, and Cash. I'm going to let you have first crack at this ranking.
I'm gonna do Judge Dredd, Top of the Mountain, Demo Man.
I knew that was coming.
Demo Man right there, second.
Yeah.
Um,
And then would you have Cobra or Tango?
Tango and Cash.
Cobra fourth.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. and
Well, the other ones are off the mountain, so it
then
doesn't matter.
Cobra can burn in hell.
You know,
I don't shop here.
Yeah.
as we were kind of going through it too, but like, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot from a performance of Sly.
He's in a diaper in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the movie wasn't
No,
His
weird.
performance was
Terrible.
terrible in that movie.
But Cobra is such an irritating
At least
movie.
he showed up for Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yes.
Cobra, he was just sleepwalking.
You want to take Cobra off the
I'm
mountain?
taking Cobra off the
Listen.
mountain. Cobra sucked,
Cobra
dude.
is
Wow.
Cobra
I can't
is a
see that.
movie. Cobra is a movie that as a 12-year-old boy is like, yeah, that's awesome. And then you grow up and you realize how much of a vanity project it is for Stallone.
Yeah.
And how much like the movie in and of itself is full of shit.
All right,
Yeah.
fine.
The best thing that ever came out of Cobra was Brian Thompson.
Yeah.
Sharpening a knife.
So intensely. Here's what I would do. I this might shock you, but I think Demolition Man, great mix of action and comedy from Sly. Then I'm gonna go Tango and Cash. I actually think he has to do a lot more acting in this than he does as Dredd, even though Dredd is a great performance and more iconic, especially the I am the law and all that. But he's very in Dredd. He's because the character is that way. He's very just like evil
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Tango's a better performance.
Yeah.
I think Judge Dredd is a better movie, I think, overall. But anyway, I would go Demolition Man, Tango, Judge Dredd, and Cobra. I hated him in the other ones. I might be convinced that Death Race 2000 is a better performance.
I didn't
Cobra.
see that one. That's one
Yeah.
of the only Stallone movie I haven't seen.
Yeah.
We
Well,
gotta get
check it out.
Yeah.
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 We are running along here, so it's time for us to get to our final ratings. So, Ryan, you're going to have the floor to start us off.
Tango and Cash. Tango and Cash.
Wow. All right, we got to get through this.
Sorry. Go
No. It's
Just
okay.
because, just for Bob, this movie sucks.
What?
No,
Okay.
It does suck.
it does. Look, this movie,
Flip flop at the ready.
this movie is terrible. Such a missed opportunity. But man, it freaking rules
Okay.
so hard. Yeah, I'll tell you, like, I've seen this movie, 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And it's always enjoyable.
Yes.
It's always enjoyable. No, it's not good. Like, there's a lot of one-liners that fall flat.
Yes.
The screenplay sucks. The logistics of it, like I said, it's basically a rejected Bond movie is what it is.
yeah.
But every time I watch this movie, it's like, see, that's what a fun movie is.
All right. Fair enough. I respect it. And Noah goes, screw you guys. I love this movie. I love Russell in it. I love Sly in it. I love the shootouts and fight scenes. I don't care if it doesn't make sense at times or the time frame is goofy. This movie rules, full stop. I'm taking that as a good movie, straight
That's
up
what I'd say.
from Aaron Nowak.
I don't know.
One BMR, one good movie as we hoe it over to the mayor.
Yeah, so I'll start with this. Usually my wife watches it. Becca will watch it with me, and this time Keenan watched it to my oldest at-home son, and he was like, "Man, this movie is weird." He was kind of like, "It sucks, but you know what? I'd watch it again. It rules. Oh, it's fun."
Yeah.
I look at it like this. This is your classic 80s movie. It's got the 3 B's: buddies, boobs, and butts, right?
Yes.
Everything you want in an 80s movie.
Yes.
The thing stopping me from saying this is a good movie full out was just what we talked about. The dialogue at times, yeah, there were some one-liners, but the other times they weren't snappy enough. They were too long, whatever.
Yeah.
And just the end of the movie, right? Just
Yeah.
that final explosion where should have been the climax of the movie. They blow this place up.
Yeah.
Well, the self-destruct does anyway. Blows this place up, and you get like the pyrotechnics from the Jackson Pepsi commercial. That said, this movie's fun as hell to watch, right?
All
It's
right.
still Stallone, Kurt Russell, bad movie that rules.
All right, awesome. We've got Nathan Broderick here, and he goes, I understand why some people don't like this movie, but it is 100% the kind of movie that I love. The leads are fantastic, the action is over the top and glorious, and entertainment is consistently the goal of the filmmakers. This is an awesome, good movie that rules. So,
Wow.
interesting. We've got 2
Couple goods.
BMRs
Yeah, a couple goods out there.
and a couple goods
Patrons.
from the patrons.
Top GFS.
I can't get there. I love this movie. You know I love this movie.
Yes.
I think this show, to a certain extent, has ruined me. Okay, because before I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie. What the frick are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
Now you're looking for
I'm looking.
reasons.
I will never not love this movie. I will watch it probably 10 more times before I die. This film is enjoyable, entertaining, all the things everybody said. I think, as we already mentioned, it was so on the cusp of being an all-time classic if they had just been able to do it
Just
a
a
little
couple
better.
things,
A couple
yeah.
things. It could have risen to an 11. Instead, it's like a B movie that's really better than that class even should
Right.
to be considered in that class.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a bad movie that rules because especially the third act. The third act just nosedives
Yeah.
so hard. That's really the thing that I didn't really remember going back to. I was like, oh gosh, this ending's awful. And the rest of it's not. And especially the lead into the ending being the peak of the movie. It just was a weird thing. I love the movie, but it's a bad movie that rules for me. And Billy Malden says, this is a flat out good movie. It's crazy, over the top, and completely unbelievable, but it leans into the crazy and delivers some classic one-liners, ridiculous stunts, and amazing hair. Yeah, Russell's hair in this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
It flows.
Yeah, it's a classic 90s action film, and I love this movie. I wonder if next time it's not time for another primer on what the rating system means.
Might be.
And if you liked something, that's the second half of the equation. The first half is judging it objectively,
Right.
which is hard to do.
It's hard.
That's hard to do.
Can be.
Because I also love this movie for all those reasons, but objectively there's problems. But as I've always said, like what you guys like, man. Don't let me stop you.
Yeah.
I love it too.
I mean, we all clearly like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. But it's interesting. All three of us have gone BMR. All three of the patrons have gone good movie. We've still got one of each left. We got Bob and Mark Gusick. But Bob, where are you at on Tango and Cash?
Tango and Cash is a nice, large, overly buttered, salted popcorn
Yes.
of awesomeness
Love it.
with its flaws and cholesterol and everything that comes with eating
Extra
it.
salt.
Extra salt, extra butter, butter's dripping down your face,
Extra cheese for sure.
extra cheese, whatever you put on your popcorn. That's what this movie is.
Yeah.
It has its flaws. Obviously, the ending is horrendous in the way it was filmed. The most pointless Hot Wheels demolition car matchup was not okay.
Right.
But I would say this is a bad movie that rules.
Bad movie that rules. That's four
all
across
on
the
table.
board.
Yep.
All right. So then we go into our last rating here from Mark Gusick.
You can just delete his email.
He says, I remember this movie being a lot more fun when I was a kid, but of course you get older and your life experience changes things, like my opinion of this movie. You're worried about killing the two main characters and the cops are coming after you. That don't even know who you are, Perrette. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, he's worried about the two main characters. They don't even know who he is.
Right.
Okay? Why would it matter? Just get it over with and move on with your business. The whole setup scene was terrible. These are the worst FBI agents the world's ever seen. Their acting was horrible. Who in their right mind would believe that was a legit thing there? That keeps getting worse. Sorry for jumping around. I feel like the world's most elaborate strip club that Terry Hatcher works at should have had a higher than a $5 cover charge. I somehow think if Bob and James had this on VHS, it was constantly playing in Bob's room, and somehow the world's fanciest strip club scene was worn down. Weird.
Very accurate.
I
Shows
knew.
a picture of your mom.
I knew who you were when you walked in. Like, no crap, he's all over the news. How did only one cop and a ditzy stripper be the only two people in a crowded strip club that recognized Cash? The final battle scene, nonsense. Just drive around randomly and see what happens. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. Way to destroy that beautiful truck. That was the best part of the movie. Well, besides the one-liners, those were top-notch. Also, here we are again with two random dudes knowing the ins and outs of heavy equipment they've never driven before. Seems like Cobra Part 2, where he tried to clean up his act and started behaving, but still has kept his ability to figure out equipment he has no business knowing. Mark's on a rant here.
He is.
Last bit, but who the frick is going to start a countdown for a bomb in a building that they're still in? Nobody's that frickin' stupid.
Canadians.
You're just going to stay in the warehouse that was stocked with all your illegal weapons, drugs, and other items sitting out for everyone to see in hopes that you kill Tango and Cash? Yeah, okay, bud. Try again. Maybe also try harder at hiding the face of James Hong's stunt double when he's getting shot. Dog poop scale is as follows. This movie is like when you come home to see that your dog is crapped all over the throw rug. You're not mad about it because it's a throw rug, but it's kind of old and needs to be thrown away. So the dog just kind of did you a favor and expedited the process of replacing the rug. So you just throw it away and order a new one. With all that being said, yet again, this is a bad movie that rules.
There we go.
Yes, there are some dumb and mean, and I mean really dumb things, but it's fun. That's about all it has going for it. Stallone and Russell in their prime is more than anyone could ask for besides sliding Arnie in there. Glad to be back. I warned you a rant was coming. So Mark tips the scales, the only patron that went BMR, which means overall it was a bad movie that rules. I want to say thanks to the patrons and everybody for participating. And come back and join us next week. Next week is going to be... We're going back to the 70s, boys and girls, for a Chris Christopherson movie from 1976 called Vigilante Force. And
I like it already.
From all I've heard, this movie is absolutely bonkers. And I cannot wait for this. Jenna is going to be back in the studio along with Joe and Dr. Madela, and it's going to be an awesome time. Normally, we'd have DH9K announce that for us, but as I said earlier, she's
under the weather.
Come down with a computer virus.
Got a virus.
She's been out for a couple weeks now, and so I need to have
Madela
Dr.
probably
Madela
planted
come
that.
in here and figure out what's wrong with her. But hopefully, she will be back at some point when we get her back and working again.
Could have been Steph.
Could have just
Steph could have planted it.
We could just move.
You're right. Jealous.
Yeah,
You're right.
Either way,
We can move on without DH9.
yeah, you don't like DH9K.
No, she's a wonderful human being.
Good thing she's offline right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wonder why that is.
Just want to say thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan and Bob. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm your host, James Hauser, and we'll catch you on the next one. Yeah. It's Tango Cash. It's Cash and Tango. Smell those mice. Plan B. Can I talk to you for a second, please?
Not now. I'm busy.
I'm gonna turn you into an ass.
I'm going to drive through this quarry in circles and pretend we're in Megaforce.
We're gonna shoot at nothing.
That's the way we do it in here. You got my vote for the Psycho Hall of Fame, Bob.
Sure I do.